into it, because like otherwise we're gonna be here.
Because like there's a lot going on in the world. This is really fortuitous. The wrestling event we're watching right now that happened 15 years ago to the day is WWE Capital Punishment. And the gimmick here is that it's being held in Washington, D.C. and uses a lot of Washington and D.C. related iconography. The month between the last pay-per-view that we commentated on, there has since been a UFC event on the actual White House lawn, and also it was revealed or leaked that Mr. Donald J. Trump owns anywhere from 15 million to 50 million stock in TKO, which is the parent company of the WWE right now.
Yay!
All of it, yeah. What an event! Oh yeah, this is when R-Truth dressed up like Confederate soldiers. We got a lot of R-Truth stuff to get into. I've been keeping up for weeks, but well, who am I joined by today? How have your months been since the last time we all spoke?
John here. Pretty all right.
Caden is also here, and I haven't done much. So, no news is good news as far as I'm concerned.
This video was implying that R-Truth had something to do with JFK.
Well, he's a conspiracy theorist. So.
Yeah, I guess it did. Oh wait, am I sure? I am, right?
No, I just needed to click on it. Yeah, I got it now.
It seems like a lot of what's going on here is stuff being pushed down the totem pole. Because like we talked about this last time, that R-Truth was kind of geared up to be in that main event triple threat, and then it seemed like they were like ribbing him, or like lost faith in him because he was drinking water during a match, and now part of his gimmick is water bottles. Now it's like his main method.
And now,
here we are on the White House lawn, Capital Punishment 2011.
Capital Punishment.
Jesus Christ.
I thought that I would have to find this on Dailymotion to find the uncensored version, but I was skimming a little bit, and I guess they didn't think anyone would watch Capital Punishment 2011. Because the thing I remember,
little did they know,
no one else remembers happening. This is egregious.
Yeah.
This is too fucking much.
If they're gonna have UFC, they gotta have a WWE event on the White House lawn, man. Fuck it, who cares?
Yeah, they're doing it in Saudi Arabia anyway. Like,
it's true, it's all circus of peanuts right now.
No, there is fucking. Nobody's ever accused professional wrestling of having good taste, but like this is ridiculous.
This is this is what, 2011. This is the
rough on low standards.
Yeah, well, this is Obama 2. Are we in Obama 1 right now?
2011. That would have been Obama 1.
Yeah, end of 1.
There was a level of optimism at the time. Oh, good. They got the little Kofi Kingston palm trees over front of it.
No, that's the that's like a broad political observation. It's just like that was the Yes We Can era. This was from the Yes We Can era.
In a wider sense, just because, you know, when you're a kid growing up in the era, and also they're just like regular Obama era optimism, like, oh, the future's gonna be incredible. We kind of had like a weirdly deep talk when we were playing GTA on one of the streams, as you do when you play GTA late into the night.
Yeah,
about
of course.
Like gender expression. And like the issue with like people who claim to be misandrist online, that it's actually like thinly veiled homophobia or transphobia. That like
oh yeah.
It comes to like expression that people are very strictly one thing or the other. I get a lot of egg comments on YouTube a lot, and for me, like this doesn't apply to anyone else, but for me it's a little bit of a shit or get off the pot situation. Like I can only be called an egg for so long. If I don't decide to do anything, then it
no that is exactly where I was, because like, you know, I've slowly started like moving into the you know, down the 5 stages of grief of being like I think I'm coming out of bargaining into acceptance, because all of my friends have been like, girl, the closet is made of, it's like the closet door is sliding glass, like just do something about it already. And so what I've been doing, the bargaining phase of it was that like, I'm not going to acknowledge it, but I am going to acknowledge it by doing the Norm Macdonald deeply closeted gay man bit, but for real.
Pretending to do a gag, Well,
Yeah, so
my point being is that like I have never felt uncomfortable in my body really. But for me, like the gender of it all is like when I was like 14 in 2015 and like on Tumblr and stuff, there's a sign that says Barack Obama for second term. I'm glad they brought that to this event. There was a time when I was in like
Nostradamus at Capital Punishment.
I was like an optimistic kid. It was 2014. I'm like, yeah, in like 10 years time, there's just gonna be no gender. Like we're gonna do away with the whole thing. I genuinely believe that. I'm like, yeah, that's the future. Evidently,
you were high on those. You were real high on those Obama years, man.
Yeah. Obama transed all the kids' genders because they were rocking in the bathroom. Sorry, there's a match going on. This is Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship.
No longer Evan Bourne-esque Dolph Ziggler, by the way.
Speaking of,
He's finally got his hair back.
He dyed his hair black and then back blonde again in the span of about a month. I don't know if Zack Ryder is on this show at all, but this has been a constant through line where I've been watching Monday Night Raw, and I've also been watching Z True Long Island Story. And for those of you who don't know, Zack Ryder, we're right before the reality era. Actually, the next show we watch is, I think, going to be in the reality era, because it's Money in the Bank 2011.
This is a transitional phase in wrestling is what we're watching right now, basically.
End ages of the PG era, where John Cena is trying to do his raps, but Zack Ryder got naturally over using, it's weird to call like YouTube 2011 a social media, but that's what it was. Like, he got naturally over by doing his YouTube show. And
classic Ziggler over monkey flip.
Yeah. We were saying like there was a match we watched some months ago. We were like, oh, this is before Ziggler started like selling the way Ziggler sells. And I'm like, I don't know. I think he's always been like this.
Yeah.
Zack Ryder. The interesting thing is that Zack Ryder gets so naturally over with this YouTube show. Oh shit, Famouser, that's it. Go for the 1, 2, 3. I like Kofi's Halloween themed kickback. 1, 2.
Perfect for capital punishment.
Right. What's scarier than Washington, D.C.?
Yeah. Specifically the White House.
Yeah, what's scary? I like that it's ominous in the background, like overlooking them. But, but at this time, like, Zack Ryder's character is an arrogant asshole, like, even on the YouTube show. And he's supposed to be a heel on TV. And now that I'm looking back on this, I think that's like what can you do? You know, people are cheering for Ryder and his merch is flying off the shelves. To the point where like R-Truth cut a promo backstage where he's like, how can Zack Ryder get the shirt and I don't? Weirdly, there's a lot of phases of the pipe bomb in what R-Truth has been saying. It's kind of like ahead of it.
We have a new United States champion.
Zack Ryder has been like kind of teaming with Dolph Ziggler on TV, but also interacting with John Cena. John Cena is like doing a little wink and a nod, like he's like, oh, I'm a fan of the show, I'm a fan of the program. Because something important you got to know about John Cena is he was in the Fred movie the year before this. And there's a little DVD featurette for that movie where he's talking about the Fred movie as if it's going to be like this generation's Yellow Submarine. He's like, yeah, like, this kid like made something of himself, and like, this is the next era of entertainment.
I'm sorry. What?
He loves the internet. He was ahead of. He's a real memer. Like, he's up with the YouTube of it all. But like, it's weird that like,
oh my God,
is a heel character on TV when he shows up. But he's over, and that arrogant Zack Ryder character doesn't really work when they turn him into like a lovable babyface kind of guy. I will say though,
it would be like if like MJF was doing like a face, it just wouldn't quite work.
You know what I like about
we're like
in my mind, at least.
We're like he's over on the internet, but like supposed to be a heel on TV. Like it's weird.
Yeah.
But while we're if I could do my own large level conspiracy theory, maybe this is just him moving up because maybe YouTube's been paying out. I don't remember what the YouTube payouts were like in 2011, but maybe they were pretty lucrative.
Probably not.
I mean, definitely more lucrative than they are now. But there is a moment where as soon as Zack Ryder Ryder starts appearing on TV on the Z2 Long Island Story Show, weirdly, the quality gets a lot better. Like, he has a higher quality camera, and there's, like, more editing.
The budget ups.
Yeah, either he upped the budget, or at this point, the WWE did get involved. Because they have to be aware of the show, obviously. But so much of his show is him doing visual gags of like, oh, WWE dropped the ball with Zack Ryder. Ooh, I'm trying to get over. He's like climbing the fence. Or he's got like,
oh my god, I do remember those. Holy shit, yeah.
Those wiggling around in icy court on the ground. Is like, this is WWE getting cold feet from Zack Ryder. There's a lot of that. Weirdly, part of his gimmick too is that he's a fan of Justin Bieber on the show. And if you're watching Monday Night Raw in 2011, that is the most heel thing you can do.
That's the most heel thing you can do. Yeah.
Constantly comparing his enemies to Justin Bieber because he's not allowed to call them gay anymore. He just doesn't make it like subtly.
Nobody home is Kofi Kingston.
But that's
so. Here's my theory about the budget up. So WWE would have had to have known and had some hand in the web series because he's using a character that is trademarked by WWE.
That's true. They own the names.
Yeah. So what they were probably doing is like, listen, you just do whatever bullshit you want, and if you get over, then we'll start putting some money behind it.
Yeah. Well, now like this is the start of it, and like we've had different eras, quote unquote, after this, but this is really the beginning where like now every wrestler, their gimmick is on social media, and that's as much a part of it. You're playing the gimmick 24. People talk about like, oh, there's no kayfabe anymore, but arguably wrestlers are in character more often now than they ever were before.
They just changed the way that characters are so that you're either public on social media or you're not if the character doesn't work on social media.
The only shit I know about
they just kind of adapted the way that you think about kayfabe more than anything else.
Do you know what this is similar in my mind to? That's kind of the difference between like Bruno Sammartino and Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was a TV guy. Sammartino was like a fucking he was a live show guy, and you know, not that I don't know if I ever have seen
SOS
and any of the broadcast tapes from when he was like, you know, in like late career, but like it doesn't, it's not that it didn't translate, it's just that, you know, that next generation did it so much better. Because like Sammartino is like this fucking Italian hero who's like, you know, there's this old, I've seen tapes of this old lady who would always buy front row tickets at Madison Square Garden specifically because she just loves Sammartino that much.
Yeah.
Like, that's so possible. It's not what the business strategy is anymore, though.
Yeah.
Like Sammartino was New York's guy, you know, at that time.
They've run,
you know, as far as wrestling goes.
Same territory over and over and over again.
For local communities. Speaking of someone who's always in the front row, I'm seeing the green shirt guy, but he's on the ramp side instead of the front side. But yeah, there's a lot to be said about the transitional period of that. People always say that like, oh, WrestleMania wouldn't have happened without Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper or whatever. The fact of the matter is, it wouldn't.
I mean, it would have, but it would have been different.
Happened without Cindy Lauper is what happened. Is that
no, you're right. Rock and wrestling.
Lou Albano wasn't on a plane with Cindy Lauper, and she didn't say, "Hey, do you want to be in my music video for Girls Just Want to Have Fun?" And then he was like, all right, but do you want to be on our show? And then, like, if WWE doesn't get on MTV in the 80s, then it doesn't take off the way it does. Because, like,
absolutely.
Nothing is tantamount to MTV in the 80s. That's like, the fucking... Gen X is the MTV generation. Oh, troll face back there. Nice.
I bet nothing bad will happen with that mimetic symbol.
I'm sure there's a lot of that going around.
You got to see like when Pepe the Frog signs start popping up in the background.
That's gotta be it.
God, the chuds ruin everything, don't they? Anyway, sorry, what were we saying?
I do like that Pepe specifically has kind of been taken back by Twitch specifically, and now everyone's like, oh,
Yes,
I do
yeah.
like anything about Memetics is like anything that starts as like a hateful 4chan term, unless it's like legitimately racist, it just will become like a funny meme or like a reclaimed something.
Oh, let me tell you. So yesterday, at a part, I had spent part of my time where I usually live, and then part-time at my friend's place for their birthday. So I was kind of driving back and forth, trying to balance like Pride stuff. And I didn't have any money to get them an actual birthday present. So I was like, why don't I just do something embarrassing for like 20 minutes or something like that? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. So what I did, this is where the drag came from, is that I in drag gave a presentation on queer slurs and phrases and slang, and rated them all between 0 to 5 out of 5 pride flags based on my personal preference for them. And
is that like, for whatever reason, so many of like the like misogynistic or homophobic or transphobic ones, unfortunately, they sound really cartoon.
No, they're so funny. Like, that's the thing. That's the problem.
It's hilarious, dude. What are you talking about?
Like, I'm not gonna fucking say any of them right now because this is for the Patreon. But like, first of all, just as a side note, my search history is fucking radioactive right now. But you know, like,
oh, he did this.
I want to say like
the conquering hero passed out. Because what did Vicky even do? She like grabbed his nose?
I think he raked his eyes.
Okay.
I think she was raking his eyes.
What you need to know about
the Raw GM is still around at this point, right? Or is he gone?
Well, no, the Raw GM, the computer got broken or something, so now we're getting like special GM hosted shows. So like last Raw was hosted by Stone Cold because it was also like after the finale of Tough Enough. So what I've been doing is filming the weekly Monday Night Thing, you know, the Cartoon Network Monday Night Stuff leading into wrestling. And when I started the show, when I said, oh, I'm going to do it every Monday, it was like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. But the last couple weeks I've been watching Tough Enough, which is an additional hour. So it's almost like 3.5 hours. And I'm filming it late at night. I'm like, dude, I'm exhausted. Can we just get this over with? And then as soon as Tough Enough ended, Andy won, by the way. Not Michael Jeremiah. But as soon as that happened, they're like, and next week's gonna be a special 3-hour Raw, a special Super Show combining Raw and SmackDown. And I think that's just gonna keep happening for the rest of the year. This is the era of the Super Show. It hasn't gone the full 3 hours permanently, but it's gonna dip into that a little bit.
No. They've realized it makes more money and have not yet taken the handbrake off on doing it full time.
Well, like, people don't. I don't know what the SmackDown viewership was at the time. I was SmackDown's strongest soldier in 2011. But like, they just all the SmackDown storylines. They're like, all right, let's also do them. Like, let's bring all this stuff over here. Oh, maybe I should wait to say it until the Intercontinental Championship match. Okay, but now Dolph Ziggler is the U.S. champion, which will transition into his later feud. I really don't know who he faces after this before. Because when does Ryder actually show up on TV? Yeah.
Well, he doesn't get the match until TLC.
That's TLC. That's December.
So this December.
See, this is why I'm only watching 2011. If you only watch 2011, that's oh yeah, he stole the belt and he's got his iconic water bottle. His labelless water bottle.
You still have John
yeah.
So he's already started hitting people with it, right?
Right now?
Well, he's paranoid. The little Jimmy thing started to just be like an innocuous child to be like, oh, all the kids love John Cena, and like he's been Flanderized already. But the start is like, oh, I've been dancing and singing all these years, and nobody gives a shit about me. Like, oh, and everyone's too busy about John Cena. There's like this power vacuum with the baby faces.
I don't even know who you are.
So I'm gonna like take it upon myself to actually earn this, like take the championship that I am owed. Away from John Cena, and only a couple weeks in, that has become I'm crazy. I see a literal ghost child. I mean, R-Truth will take whatever and make it work.
Yep. I mean, that's this whole year.
Yeah. he dressed up as
Here's 20% of a thing. Take it and make it 180%.
Yeah. Do I have it?
Yeah,
Wait, no.
he really was Vince's strongest soldier during this era.
I mean, he was doing a great job with everything. And yeah, he cuts an early pipe bomb. I'm gonna see what I have. I think it's in, if I remember correctly, because my notes are on this one small index card that I've been erasing and rewriting on, so it's basically illegible. That his big heel thing was they were in Virginia, I think, and he came out dressed up like a Confederate soldier, and he like called the Confederates losers, and then the crowd booed.
Really?
It was weird.
Yeah, it was, which is funny because if it was in Virginia, Virginia was a Union state, I think.
Oh, maybe it wasn't
it?
Virginia. I don't know. It was some place like that.
No, that's not right. That's not right. Sorry. What was the one that was like? There was one of those, like the border states that was like. It might be Maryland. But one of the border states was like on the side of the Union, but still allowing slavery at the time.
Was carrying
That was. I don't think that was. I don't think that was Virginia.
Every feud has its own prop. Obviously, Alex Riley has since turned on the Miz.
Championship.
He's also not on SmackDown. I think he got drafted.
Yeah, they're on different shows now.
And then gave up on that. So he's on Raw feuding with the Miz. And the idea is that, like, Miz made me carry his bags around, but he's not Money in the Bank anymore. So they just have a briefcase with nothing in it that means nothing.
And awesome. And
Carrying the bags.
Right.
Exactly what
I remembered you'd mentioned that earlier on one of our previous recordings, and I was like, I don't know if it works for me or not. Because it might just be one of those things that's so stupid that circles back around to being over for me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but like I can get it with the Miz.
I think the thing that makes it so silly though is that he doesn't. It's just a plain silver fucking briefcase. Like it's not anything.
I know it looks like
it says anything. It doesn't. It's completely unbranded. It's just a metal suitcase, and that's it.
I know that's what I mean though.
Anything out of it. Like if he took something out of it every week and it was something different, I feel like that would be awesome. But instead,
yeah, no, I think you're right.
He doesn't do anything with the briefcase. It's just to be there.
We're gonna see the feud. Yeah, he's always carrying it. They do like a Pulp Fiction thing where we never see what's in the briefcase, but there's like coming out of it.
Fuck, that would have been good, actually. That would have been so good.
Say what you will about the Miz, like, this is very... I have always liked this in, like, the 2016 serious Miz era, but I guess he had the belt in it, but not when he was carrying the belt. I like that Santino should have won.
Riley feeding Miz the championship. Look out, look out, look out!
If I could make a deal with God.
Miz is champion!
I was like, I don't think
what was
the show.
Sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
What was the Kate Bush reference for? Did I miss something?
Oh, that's a very not infamous, but like one of the most famous wrestling promos between Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. Their hype package uses like a male cover of that song.
Huh.
Stone Cold and The Rock do you think you're special?
How stupid.
I can see. I think that wrestling fell off when they stopped involving Red Dirt. That's what we're missing.
Yeah. No, I'm surprised I've never seen that because I love stupid wrestling. Like the stupid side of wrestling is like my niche.
Yeah.
Like I spent all the.
I do like this serious Miz, but Miz is kind of at his best when he just does like just do the stupid shit. That's what he's doing with Danhausen right now.
Than an immediate.
Yeah. Oh well, we got to talk about Danhausen, but real quick though, one of my favorite wrestling shows of all time. I've mentioned this over and over again. You've got to get on this shit. Baka Gaijin and Friends, like that. That is my favorite wrestling show of all time. It's completely ridiculous, and like the suspension of disbelief is the only thing holding this house of cards together.
Yeah. Like,
because they're literally just doing it on a mat in a bar, and like the audience is the ring.
How many
like the ropes.
Or is it like consistently weekly?
It's once a month because they're also like they're full-time pro wrestlers for a different promotion in Japan. They're with DDT, but this is like kind of just what they do in their free time, and it's really good.
The thing is, like, once we're done with this 2011 era, we just keep doing this, and every month we pick like a different, like we'll alternate between the 3 of us. We'll pick like a different event, and then I'll just watch the weeks leading up to it each week, and it would be like a regular wrestling thing. By the way, Alex Riley saddled with the new Alex Riley theme, instant megastar. That's really all it takes. That's what people are missing.
Yeah.
He does got the briefcase. See, now it's a prop in the match. Like, it is in
Yeah.
They honestly, the blow up should have been putting that shit on a pole or like hanging that shit above a ladder.
131 pounds.
Honestly, I'm
Okay.
surprised they did just because they love shitty gimmick matches like that, especially for pay-per-views.
He should win. He should compete for the Money in the Bank again next month, but bring his own briefcase to it, and then claim to be the actual winner of the Money in the Bank.
So I had a historical question here for you, too, regarding. So this era, you know, I referred to it as like a transitory period. The reality era, you know, pretty generally considered that the pipe bomb is like that's the beginning of it.
Yeah.
And so what's like because they're starting in this era to do something interesting, which is to transition into that with like they've been doing. Sorry, somebody is driving past real quick.
No worries.
Yeah, but let's look at everything that the Miz has done
Well,
for
I
Alex
think, like,
Riley. Alex Riley's here today
eras-
because of
I'm not
their
sure how
name.
intentional it really was, though, from Jump Street.
Well, yeah, because they try and take coverage of it. Because eras
Because they kind of do,
attested
they kind of
post-honestly.
half-assed it.
But like, at some moments they're like, oh, this is the start of a new era. They do that a lot. But like the eras are categorized posthumously. Like you can't say it's an era when you're in it. But the reality era kind of begins, like it's the same thing with the Attitude Era. Like the beginning kind of takes place over a year. Where in a year's period of time, Punk wins the title, Daniel Bryan wins the title, and then the Shield debuts. So it's less about, it is the philosophy of the show shifting, but also like the main event. That's a big part. The reason why like 2016 is categorized by them to be their own era also. Because that's when Kevin wins the world title. That's when Finn Balor makes his debut.
And they do the brand split, and they change like everything about the
Ambrose wins
judge.
his first title. Like it's more about like the echelon. Yeah, it's
I think a big part of it too is
I was
the fan reaction as well.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the reality era and the attitude era, like there's a very clear difference in the crowd reaction before and after that.
Yes, yeah. So I was gonna say, like,
Especially as it
I feel like
they change.
I feel like behind the scenes that is what they were starting to shift towards in regards to like the theory behind crowd engagement like that. I think why the pipe bomb works so neatly as like a hard beginning, even though they're like the philosophy behind all this stuff is slowly building up to this, is because that was the first time the inside baseball of it all like got over.
Yeah.
Because like they were fumbling a little bit with like the NXT stuff that was like the basically Tough Enough.
Yeah, where they do like real-time voting with fans that they kind of choose, but also they book it.
Right.
Yeah.
They halfway house it.
I mean, we're seeing the Miz now, and like, he did the best with the position he was given, but like so much of the PG era is just John Cena. And they've been like, when did the PG era start? Like 2008, 2007?
Well, he's a former
So they spent like
Yeah.
ladder match winner.
trying.
After ECW folded.
Yeah, trying.
So.
That was like the original ECW or like WWE.
No, the WWE version of
That's like
ECW.
2010, so that's only like a year. I think the PG era started when they started. I think it was Hasbro or whoever they had a toy deal with.
Maybe he'd learn how to be a champion. Maybe he'd learn how
That
to be
like
a winner.
the show wasn't palatable because they're selling kids. They're selling toys. I don't want to accuse Hasbro of selling children. I don't know what they're up to.
But as far as learning something in the
And like there are little bits.
They might be.
Yeah, there are. I'm just getting ahead of the story. There are little bits of it, but I would say like the main, the like harsh start is when they're not allowed to blade anymore. And then Batista blades loss and gets fined.
So you're going to believe everything Alex Riley
So basically, like, Batista leaves is when the PG era starts. And, like,
well, that's in 2010.
Is it? Okay, so
I think so. I think it's later.
well,
I think it was already kind of starting, and then that's the hard, like, okay, no more. Everything is, you're not getting away with it.
He does, but like the PG era is Hornswoggle. Basically, when Hornswoggle shows up, he stops being on screen.
He won the main event at WrestleMania. You can't take anything away from this man.
For most of the time, Triple H and Shawn Michaels are doing like tag team stuff, but they struggle to build any other main event talent. Where like the young prospects a year prior were like Chris Masters and Carlito, and they were almost
the
there.
best they do is Randy Orton. Like the best they do is Randy Orton, and he was already kind of starting prior because of Evolution. Yeah.
That's my thing. Is like, the Cody story is fantastic, right? I was there in Philly. It was a magical moment.
Well, stop the embarrassment of Riley here.
You mean his like recent work, right?
Yeah, like him winning the title from Roman finally.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a good story, but I don't think we need to do it with everyone. Where like, once you have a title belt under, a little notch on the wall, then you're already kind of at that level. Like arguably the Miz falters around a lot, but like he is a former world champion, and they just gave him another world championship randomly with another Money in the Bank like a decade later. So people when it's like, we have to wait we have to really build up Oba. We can't give the belt to Sammy yet because it needs to be like a big triumphant moment. I just don't I understand if you want to do like a big Cody moment, but not everyone needs to do that. Like if you put the belt on Oba now and then it doesn't work out, who cares? Give the belt to someone else then, and then just when he's ready, give him the belt later. They fucking gave Sheamus the belt in 2010. Just do that. Like if it doesn't,
they gave it to him twice.
Yeah, like if it
they gave him the belt twice and then tried again later in 2012. Like they did it like 3 years ago. They gave him the title, they gave him the King of the Ring, and then they gave him the title again. And then they just moved him around and tried again.
Yeah.
Like it's fine.
Sheamus is technically more decorated than like most people on the roster because he's held every title except for the Intercontinental belt, and he won Money in the Bank, Rumble, and King of the Ring. But there's like it. I understand why. Like the current management is a lot more protective of the world title. Like it needs to be a big deal. We can't just like Attitude Era be passing it around like every week.
Alex Riley's getting a life lesson here tonight.
I don't think there's anything lost with like a failed Oba run. It's just like this summer, have Oba win the fucking King of the Ring, have him beat Roman, give him the fucking world title, and if the run doesn't work, then take the belt off him and just do it again later. There's no harm in just giving him the belt. Because
that, and you have to put some gas behind it too. You can't just do nothing with it. Like you can't just be like, okay, well he has the world title and then we don't put him on the show. Like put him on the show, have him win some matches going into it. Make the story. He's finally going to take his shot, and then that's the thing, and you go with that. But you can't just like half-ass it and then be like, oh well, it didn't work. Like that doesn't work either.
Really fun concepts you could do. I mean, it's all like after the fact to be like, I would have done this differently. But in this era where like John Cena is the prodigal champion for like 5 years and nobody else ever gets anywhere close. If I had the pen in this era, I'm like, all right, fuck it. John Cena's fighting everyone. I'm gonna have him beat everyone on the roster. Every month on pay-per-view, it's going to be a I don't care if he's fighting fucking Chavo or fighting Grima. Like he's fighting everyone on a different pay-per-view. Basically, the John Cena Open Challenge like years earlier, and then he beats everyone on the roster, and then somebody eventually beats them. Like even if they're complete jobbers, who cares? Give them a fucking world title match.
Yeah, here's the thing: is that like that. I think that would work really well because then you've got this like Ozymandias thing that you could lean into, where it's like, he has no one left to conquer. Like, what do you do when there is no more?
You could also go the route that they did end up kind of going with the John Cena Open Challenge, which is even if you decide that you're going to back out of the whole thing where he gets beaten, you still can fall back on, well, okay, well, he's been doing this for 2.5 years he fights somebody every single time.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's worn down. Like, there's so much you can do
every
with
time
it.
somebody debuts, it's like, oh, but this guy's never fought John. Like, there's something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That becomes its own little meta commentary in fan circles. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, that was the San Martino thing, right? Is that like, oh shit, nobody can beat this guy. So you would tune in every week.
I was thinking about that. Yeah, is that like? I was thinking about that when you're talking about the Cody thing and about like building it up. It seems like they want to kind of return, you know, if they don't want to give the belt to Oba, like, you know, kind of return to that territorial style of like, we've got our guy. I think the problem is though, and you know, it worked with Cody because Cody was going around to a bunch of different promotions, going on this like, you know, use
where he's an important figure on the show in all of those companies as well.
Like, I mean, Cody's good and he's portrayed as really strong, but I'm saying like Oba's a different character. Like, you shouldn't do a valiant babyface Oba like trying to win his opportunity. He's a big fucking dude. Have him kill someone.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Well, so like it worked with Cody. I think maybe they're taking the wrong lesson from that because that territorial style that worked because that was because of the territory system.
Yeah.
Like it's hyper. It was local and they all had their guys, and you know, just because you know WWE is the one that won out, and so we remember San Martino and stuff like that more prominently than say, you know, any of the other folks that were working around there.
Spinebuster.
finish? Come on!
I think it's his setup to it. I think he does the TKO.
He should do the pedigree. He does the running
Later he does
and the spine
later he
buster
does
and the pedigree.
he later does the execution and he does the TKO.
So does John Cena already hate Alex Riley here?
I think so.
Because they did like a babyface versus heel situation where they had a Raw where they had AlexRiley and John Cena versus The Miz and R-Truth, which is funny for two reasons.
Alex Riley may not
I think
Yeah.
that would have been pre-draft.
Like I say, never say die.
So yeah, like
Because I don't think they draft them to separate shows and then like drop the storyline to some degree if they plan on actually pushing Alex Riley. And then he's not in the field for the Money in the Bank ladder match qualifiers even, like he just disappears.
Right, they're doing the Virgil thing where like, oh, he's been abused by the Miz. It's funny that like Michael Cole has basically dropped all the heel tendencies and now him and Jerry are just cool, but he is still bros with the Miz.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Any amount of cutting out that feud with Lawler and Cole, like,
Yeah.
personally, just from having my only exposure is just like, yeah, we're gonna watch this. Yeah, like just keep seeing this shit. I'm like, of course, this is not the original intended viewing of it.
Now I am.
However,
this is cool. I love a prop.
Briefcase in his hand. Watch it, the referees.
My briefcase.
Done the right thing.
the prop gimmicks are
There it
great.
is. Execution.
Yeah, I know it's not the. I know this wasn't the intended viewing order, but like. Even that, I was like, okay, this has gone on for long enough, and I've seen it twice. Like, so I don't care if they just sweep that shit under the rug.
Their match was just WrestleMania Extreme Rules Over the Limit, where we did, and like that's
Not
the
just
thing,
that, it's
like,
just that it's
I
not-
think it
it's
would
not
be remembered
interesting
much
even.
better if it was just like a gimmick WrestleMania match. The fact that it was on for so long, like the bit they're going for is okay. Jerry Lawler's never had a WrestleMania match, and he has been a very good hand for the WWE. Let's give him this because he's probably not going to be able to wrestle out. Give him his WrestleMania match where he beats up Michael.
They give him the world title match at Elimination Chamber the night after Elimination Chamber, and they give him the WrestleMania match, so he has a WrestleMania match. He fights Michael Cole, he kicks his ass, and then Stone Cold comes out and gives everybody stunners, and everybody's happy. Like, I feel like that's how it should have gone.
It's weird that it went on for as long as it did.
There was a big time sink for it, like not just on every show, but on each of those shows. We're talking like 20 plus minutes for those matches and the segments involved as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
there's no escaping it. Like I think that was the problem, is that like you just couldn't get away from it for any amount of time while it was going on.
I think as I go around, like I have lost faith in a lot of these big companies. And I'm like dipping my.
Why would they do?
Yeah.
All about this.
What, did something happen?
Well, I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, man has to
Sorry, continue.
You know, getting more into like specific indie stuff, and even like watching like
well, for the time
wrestling
being,
shows
quiet
where
the
the
critics.
primary language being
And more
spoken
importantly,
Spanish,
he's
because I don't
quiet
speak.
the Miz.
I could watch it with subtitles, but I'm like, I kind of don't want to. Like, I'd rather just not know what's going on. I think that it does lend itself to being silent a little bit. Oh
Yeah.
shit, there he is, the president.
Okay, Eddie.
Oh, sorry, it's fake Obama. It's Obama.
Holy shit.
Welcome to the
What am I looking at right here?
Obama.
Thank you. Oh, and to
What
answer
indie
the
guys do you think they got to
question,
play
Mexican
Obama
Kind of
security
looks like
here?
a Kid Rock.
Then yes, both the Mexican and the Giant.
How expensive do you think those sunglasses were?
I expect
$2?
this impersonator was.
No, those look like $3 sunglasses.
Why don't Obama want to be on the show? That guy's earpiece is not connected.
I am so happy that Dog Ziegler is the
No.
new United States champion. I just want to
Jinx Sergeant Slaughter thinks that's actually Obama.
me.
He's not in the...
Father's Day.
Where's Jesse Ventura?
to you. Happy Father's Day.
Oh, it is Father's Day. Father's Day, everyone.
Happy Father's Day, of course.
All right, I gotta text my dad.
Coming on to Obama.
I keep forgetting.
Happy Father's Day to you.
This doesn't even work. She's supposed to be the cougar. This dude's like 40.
Yeah.
Looks like Biggie got carried away, Mr. President. Thank you very much.
He didn't know he was doing a joke there. He's just like genuinely doesn't know where he is.
That impersonator does nail the Obama smile, though. I'll say that. I'll say
Nail
that.
something else later. We're gonna have to see. Whoa! They should have projected that. This is where the main event's happening. They're gonna climb to the top of the Washington
Capital
Monument.
punishment in Washington, D.C.
Throw our truth off the top of it.
Next, a very personal
Yeah,
issue.
that's how they end the
Big Show
feud.
and Alberto
And then he comes
Del
back.
Rio.
And he gets amnesia.
He gets amnesia.
Oh, yeah, this is the-
You know that would have fit right in with what the fuck they were doing too.
Yeah.
Like just
Yep.
I'd say, like, if it's gonna be like PG bullshit, then yeah, just lean fully into. Because that's what they do with Hornswoggle, right? Is they go under the ring, and there's like
Yeah.
an entire
And they've got
universe
the
down
little
there.
people's court underneath it.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
big mystery is who hit Big Show with Alberto Del Rio's car. It could be anyone. They should put a red circle.
Yeah, like he just left the keys around for some other fucker to just drive his car.
Car every week. He doesn't need it. They're probably rentals, to be honest.
Yeah, they went out of their way to get that car that he used and then put his license plates on it
Puts his
again.
own vanity plate on rental cars. It's kind of a baller move, actually.
yeah.
And
I'm not gonna lie, that would work.
there was I don't know if they're gonna show it. I've been watching like grainy like TV rips of episodes of Monday Night Raw because they're not on fucking Netflix. There's
We're
a
in
big-
WMP territory now.
Huh?
He's giving him the big, he knocked him out with the first
I
punch
think this
there.
is
So
my
I think we're
favorite Big
approaching
Show
the
thing,
WMP
though. He
time.
starts wearing like the beanie and hoodie, like he just looks like a guy.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the 3-hour thing was WWE All-Star night, where all of the All-Stars are here. Bret Hart was like the special guest Rav. There was a tough enough challenge where they go to THQ Studios and they create their own wrestlers at WWE All-Star.
That's kind of sick. I'm not gonna
I don't know
lie.
what the fuck's going on. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
with like the THQ studio head. What is this meant to imply? Why did he do that? Anyway, I don't know if they're gonna show
The
it.
editing style on this package is frankly pissing me off.
There's
Not gonna
one that
lie.
Raw where Del Rio is like, I've come out, I want to apologize to Big Show. And then like, you think Big Show comes out on crutches, but it's actually Ricardo Rodriguez wearing a fat suit and a bald cap. But it took me like a good minute to realize what the footage was really great. I'm like, oh, I guess he's okay.
$225,000. Pewter flat paint.
Oh, nice car.
Father's Day.
Approaching the ring first from San Luis
That's
Potosí,
what the
Mexico,
later.
weighing
I like the general
263 pounds.
because it's all purpose. You can use it for anything.
Absolutely.
And think about
And that's what the later Back to
that
the Future
Alberto
did.
Del Rio must be going through right now.
Story about
realizing that his
understanding
own
your father
personal ring
and also
announcer,
fucking your
Ricardo
mom.
Rodriguez is not out here tonight to
Yeah.
What better way to understand your father?
That's true. I get it now.
Del Rio dedicating this
notes I
matchup
have for
to his
Del
friend.
All right, man. Sure.
Yeah, Big Show leans on his car and he shoves Ricardo. He did that first, by the way. Alberto didn't attack him. Big Show just shoved Ricardo for no reason.
He's very shovable, man.
Oh, shit, speaking of, here comes the Big Show show.
Big Show!
Yeah.
The man
By the way,
who's
this
been
guy,
on
oh no,
rampage
he's no
for a
longer,
week.
it cost them the tag team championship. And now the Nexus are the tag team champions of David Otunga
Yeah.
and Michael
Big
McGill.
Show ambushed Del Rio tonight.
This is probably the last show we're going to see the Nexus on.
But
So,
they're not even the Nexus anymore, right? Or because they're part of the core, right? Oh no, they are
Nexus.
because it's Otunga and McGillicuddy, right?
the core is already broken
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
but the Nexus is still around.
If I was Alberto,
Yeah.
I would be trying to get some.
But right now it's
Neither is long for the world
Also,
in its
yeah,
existence.
I think that maybe they show up on the show because we're just doing CM Punk and Rey Mysterio again. And we had this feud like last year, and it was way better last year when they were doing all the cult stuff with Rey Mysterio's
Big
kids.
Show in this state, he's a dangerous individual.
You think? Booker, you and I were
I like that
ringside
whenever
Friday.
Dominic
Look at
is.
this.
Oh, wait, what the fuck?
Oh, here we go.
We kicked him in the video package.
The man who Big Show attacked Friday
Oh, that was
night
on-
with
Yeah, it was hard to tell because, again, can't stress this enough.
Yeah,
That package
kicked
was
at the top rope and
pissing me off.
Henry
All I know
sold
is
like he got
threw-
kicked in the
threw
face.
ramp at the
Henry is
pole. Well,
lost
the match
it.
hasn't started yet.
Henry is crazed.
I guess this makes
Well, I
sense.
guess this makes sense.
They
Yeah,
get Money in the
exactly.
Bank, yeah.
Yeah,
Mark
Del
Henry,
Rio's
he's not going
occupied
to do
at
this.
the moment.
He's got the 500-pounder up. Mark
Yeah,
Henry's got
winning the-
400-pounder
winning the
up.
briefcase.
Mark Henry. Oh my God! World
I will say that, like,
slam
when we
through the
watched
table.
Money in the Bank together, well, Infinite Stream, Money in the Bank together when we were kids, and like
Yeah.
retroactively, John Cena versus CM Punk is my favorite match, just of any match.
Henry.
But I remember being so conflicted for Mark Henry versus Big Show because I thought they were both epic because they were both big.
Slammed it right through that table.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I want you guys to see what's
I
happening.
Love good big man versus big man.
That 2009.
Henry to begin the count. He wants
The
to win
monsters,
this match
bro.
by
That guy brought a
count.
whiteboard.
Mark Henry's done the destruction.
Oh no,
He's done
we're
the
not gonna
damage.
see the Alberto Del Rio versus Big Show match.
what a shame.
You ever seen anything like that in life, Cole?
Nothing at all.
I got to throw him in the ring.
And Henry's coming back.
If you're a
Mark
big
Henry's
Big Show
coming
fan, you
back.
must be pissed.
Watch out, Booker.
What does Obama think about this?
Guys. Mark
He came all the way.
Henry's
He
attacking the leg.
completely
The left
skipped the
leg,
first
the
two
knee of Big
matches. He
Show.
only arrived for this
He
match.
injured the leg that was run over by Del Rio's automobile.
His automobile.
He's very invested in who ran over Big Show.
I don't know.
There were meetings in the Situation Room about it at the time.
So
Yeah.
they were like the preview leading up to this event is on the show. In canon,
When is the last time you saw
both
this
Booker
man
T
grimacing
and
in
Jerry
pain
Lawler
like this?
have been
Look at
having
him.
daydreams.
Have you ever seen
Like they'll
Big Show
look off
pick
into
up
the
the man
distance,
like that? Never,
and they'll
never.
play the little flashback sound effect, the harp, and then it'll fade away to like WWE superstars asking. It's like YouTube cooped footage of Obama.
Well, Alberto Del Rio
asking
claimed
him-
that the injury to
asking
Big
him
Show
questions
by
about the
his
WWE. Just like
automobile
they're
was
just
an
using
accident.
footage of Obama.
Ladies and gentlemen, what happened moments
But
ago
in
at the
canon,
Henry, Henry was not an
It's
accident.
not even. It's not just a trailer. It's like it's a dream sequence that Jerry Lawler is having
this
on
out
the
one
show
more time, you're
that
not
we
gonna
are
believe
privy to.
this.
Oh, remember when
That's
this
so fucking funny.
Where did he come from?
happened? Where did he?
I hate and love how stupid wrestling is.
Well, because it easily could have just been a preview. Why does Jerry Lawler have to
Yeah.
have
What
his
you're about to
dream
witness
built
here
out?
is simply amazing.
Mark Henry
The strength of this
picked him
man.
up, picked up the Big Show, slammed him through the table, and that wasn't all.
I mean, not
How does that even work with the kayfabe too? Of like,
be the one right there. Look at the grimacing
like,
Big Show face right
how are we as the audience privy to this fucking daydream too?
How are we
He
seeing?
deserved this after what Big Show did.
And what is the live audience seeing too? Like, is it different? Like, what the fuck is?
Yeah.
I guess they can
That-
see Jerry Lawler on hard cam, but they can't hear what he's saying, so they just see him look off and then it fades away.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't think he
That's
It played on
so
the fucking
ridiculous.
Still
Titantron.
doing this match. The hard-paying American voters
right there.
have paid to see this match happen, and this match is going to happen.
I'm surprised they didn't have Obama come out here to order that the match start.
I don't think the Big Show can
They
get to
should
his
have him
feet.
be the guest GM. Oh yeah,
got the
we're in the
bell hat.
guest GM.
never
era.
actually
It was
rained
Stone
before
Cold
all
last
this,
time.
this
I don't know who it's going to be this one.
So
though.
actually,
Tomorrow.
I think the referee is just doing his job.
But it would be win by forfeit. Keep that in mind. If this matchup does
Why the fuck does that matter?
It would be win by forfeit. Whoa. Now, wait a minute now.
Big Show
is in the ring.
Why the fuck does it matter whether he forfeits or he loses?
Well, I think isn't there like a thing where it's like if you forfeit it, it's like
you go out on your shield or something. I mean, the Valiant hero Kofi Kingston passed out without submitting.
He can even start them. Then the match is just starting. Yeah, the referee checking with Big
now
Show. First, Big Show wants to go with it. I don't know how wise this is.
Because obviously what these fine people in this arena paid for was to see Big Show gimp around the ring.
You should just beat Del Rio now. You should just completely squash him.
Just hit him with one punch, pin him.
Yeah. Oh shit, Goozle.
Great setup to him winning the Money in the Bank.
When is Ricardo gonna get his comeuppance?
I think that he kicked him in the gut and he grabs his knee.
That's the wrong knee, by the way. I think it was the up. Oh, okay. He's targeting.
There we go.
Smart, focused attack by Del Rio.
Well, he's all. There's nerves. It's like,
yeah.
I saw an ASMR video the other day of somebody like
what I've been saying about
this is why your stomach hurts. Something with like the nerves or something.
Very smart.
Oh yeah, he's Del Rio is targeting Big Show's Vegas nerve.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna say earlier. Is I saw a clip of I think it was Hangman versus Cole, maybe something like that, and there was just no commentary whatsoever, and it was way more sick. Like I think I would actually rather watch the show without commentary.
How much longer can the Big Show continue right now?
But look at Alberto. How wise is Alberto? Rolling right out of the ring. Now
Chucky doesn't
whack
after
the choke slam.
Real smart.
Yeah. He might have fought the Big Show in WCW.
That's all. The Giant, brother.
Yeah.
Put Del Rio out of the
But that's the
Giant.
Thing
Oh
too,
wait.
that, like involved, like there is a level of like wrestling fame amongst wrestling fans, but there also is like a different baseline.
You had a quarter ton of a man land on our table.
It's a big part of NWO taking off, and it's just like NWO is popular amongst wrestling fans, but then like Dennis Rodman showed up and he was like, I'm in the NWO.
Oh, absolutely.
That was like a huge deal. And I saw there's a Twitter account, a gay Twitter account called like Male Central or something, and they've recently discovered John Moxley, and they're having a bit of fun. He's like a big bear guy.
Yeah.
There's a huge gay community that's just been exposed to John Moxley for the first time. That's now getting into the show. I mean, we saw last month that like BTS got really into Mystico for some reason, so the BTS fans started like following Mystico around.
Slamming him head first into that mat.
Yeah, general culture is fucking strange.
It's
General culture?
Of course. Oh, he was just backstage with Obama, I think.
Sorry,
I do that every time.
Sorry, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. I just did a visual bit. Like,
yeah, I do that shit all
Yeah.
I was like, wait.
You would cross legs.
Sorry. Anyway.
Innovator of violence.
I mean, at this point, I got a whole lot of respect for Big Show just for hanging in there.
Well, that is true in a certain respect. I just don't think he was much of an innovator of it.
Yeah, you're right. Oh my God!
Better to live to fight another
This brave American is gonna lose.
I mean, stay away from
Lose to the Mexican.
Okay.
After the world's strongest man, the American Olympian came and cost him the fucking match.
We need an all-American. Oh, that was the other thing. Is that obviously leading up to last month's match, Jack Swagger saw the error of his ways. And he's like, I'm not gonna let Michael Cole treat me bad anymore. And he gave up with Michael, and he had like a little bit of smoke for a couple weeks, but I think now he's just back to being the heel.
But again, to Booker's
he
point,
beat up
has the
Evan
damage
Bourne,
been so thoroughly done
and then
that Big Show can't recover.
Lost to him in a roll-up, I think, so there's a rubber match happening, I think. But yeah, there's a lot of the celebrity aspect. It's fun to see specific wrestling sects just get popular among specific fans.
The referee telling Big Show you're gonna have to be.
I'm trying to think of another. Well, perfect example, perfect segue. The fucking Knicks last week. Like, the whole thing with Danhausen. Like, I have been trying to explain to people what the fucking thing with Danhausen is and the curse to people who like don't already know about it. It's impossible.
Right.
Like, it's just too goofy.
Right.
But
now they get it, right?
Well, that was the thing with, you know, like, you had brought this up earlier about being annoyed with like the big corporation stuff. Like, AEW fumbled him so bad. Like what is it? Like a month or two after they released him, now he's the fucking king of New York.
I
Like,
do just think that there are some acts that like would definitely work better in AEW. Holy shit, the sweat on the back of his head made a hole in the ring. That's nuts. There's some acts that would definitely work better in AEW, and some acts that would definitely work better in WWE. And there is a lot of comedy stuff in AEW, but I do think that WWE is inherently more cartoony. And like they're gonna build him a fucking set.
To compete in this match.
And I do think that in theory, the likes of Rusev and Powerhouse Hobbs, those acts work better in the WWE. But I think that there's a little bit of an overabundance of that type of character right now. For one, I think Hobbs needs to be a heel, and two, I think he should be someone's heater. And he's just the Alex Riley thing, where he's like, I'm done with you, and he attacks them. I haven't been fucking Cody's guy. I don't know. Maybe he can make an AEW.
quick question. The term heater, what does that mean?
Oh, that's just like,
Like a bodyguard.
like somebody to take the pin, somebody to get beat up. So that
Gotcha,
The strong
okay.
guy. The strong guy that then loses, like, so that the main star doesn't have to.
Got it. Just like a goon, basically.
Yeah.
Well, the last couple of years definition of goon.
In a pre-Goon universe,
Yeah. Pre-universe.
Yeah, he's the mini boss, is the heater.
Right.
Got it. Okay.
Keep in mind, it was Big Show that ambushed Alberto Del
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people on that roster.
The events here tonight.
There's too many wrestlers. We got to spread these a little bit more thin. There's just like
You should have divide wrestlers up into geographical territories. I feel like that would.
I would love to go to like local shows, but it takes like 30 minutes. But
Yeah.
I want to be a bigger part of the local wrestling community.
Building with him and slamming through a table.
King, you didn't just pick
Yeah, I wish I would have gotten that guy's
big man. I've never seen
contact info when I was telling you about the local wrestler that I found here.
Yeah.
story, right?
Because he works at the bar down across the street from my house.
Henry. And there is the damage.
For the life of me, cannot remember what he looks like. I was drinking too much when that happened. Like, just that is in the fucking wind now.
Man in the world's
Where's
greatest.
GCW?
Calvin Buttis.
Is that the one that's like Delmarva?
Congratulations to Alberto Del Rio.
Because I think
I'll look it up in a while.
On the
on the
grand
show, but
stage
like,
tonight
I went to
by
Philly with my dad to
submission.
see WrestleMania.
By the way,
He's like, oh yeah, like my friend's kid is like an indie wrestler.
permanent damage.
We should like go to this indie show just to see him. I'm like, oh okay, I'll see an indie show. Like I didn't think anything
And
of
remember,
it.
the match was
And then
dedicated
we got
to Rio's
there. We already had our
first
tickets.
announcer, Ricardo.
But there was
While
a
I'm
huge
so fresh and so
line
clean,
leading around
clean,
it. And then
you
I
go
could
ahead
see
and
like
get
this
these pictures done
these
now.
historic
After the
murals.
match, I'm gonna be
And I'm like,
tired,
wait, we're
sweaty,
in
people gonna be
Philly.
bothering me.
Where is
Let me get
this
this done
indie
right
show
now.
being held? And then we're waiting in line, and I hear people screaming. And then I turn to my side, and a visibly drunk Sandman with a kendo stick walks by me.
Yeah.
He's like, ah. And then I get inside. I'm like, this is the fucking ECW arena.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, let's. I was like, I thought we were gonna go there to see this indie guy I've never heard of. And then the first match, like fucking Bubba Ray and Tommy Dreamer come out. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what's happening?
Yeah. That was probably MLW then, because that's MLW is the Philly successor to ECW.
I got a GCW sign while I was there. I think it was GCW.
Thank you very much, Matt.
Well, I mean, either way, anytime you're in Philly, you bring out the old ECW guys. They get such a pop.
And at the same
You know,
time, the Hall of
GCW,
Fame was
you are right. GCW is Jersey,
like
though.
down the road, and we could.
let
I
me
think
be
some
the
of them
first
were
to
like
say,
at the Hall of Fame, so
I
they
am
would do an
far
opening
from
match and then they left
thrilled
really
to be
quick to
here.
go see Paul Heyman.
You see, the
get
moment I
inducted.
got here, I knew
gotcha.
exactly
See,
what
this
the
is more of
problem
the Wade
was.
Barrett I know. He is pre-beard,
This
but he's
place
got the tattoo
needs
now.
a queen or a king.
Like, in theory, he had a championship match that he
come
lost,
on, what's
and then,
the
like,
matter
a
with
year
you?
down the line, he got
You
an
don't
Intercontinental
agree with me?
Championship. So, like, in theory, he's got a decent spot. I would attest that, like, I
me
understand,
get
like,
it
sending
right.
someone to the
Isn't
moon
this the
immediately,
country
but it makes more. I think
where
that's
an
what they do with the
elected
second season of
official
NXT, right? Is
had
that
to
the winner
resign
gets, like, a
recently
U.S.
due
title
to the
match
fact
against.
Yeah.
Tweeted pictures
Yeah.
of himself.
Yep.
The
in
Miz,
his
I think, was the
underwear.
U.S. champion at the time.
Yeah.
Who won? Wasn't it Low Key versus
And what
Miz?
about
Did
your
that actually end up
education
happening?
system? That's
He was under a different name, but yeah.
A Caval,
Yeah.
right? Sorry.
Yeah, it was Caval versus The Miz. Did happen.
When did
Yeah.
that? Did that happen at a pay-per-view, or was that just like on an episode of Superstars?
I think it did happen on a pay-per-view.
In this building
Whatever
is going to be
happened to
speaking
Kamal?
Chinese.
Who's he wrestling for now? Gotta look that up.
I don't know if he does. It's funny.
See, the
I
problem
was
with the
looking up all
United
the
States
Tough
of
Enough
America
people to see like what they were up
is that
to,
from the
and one of
outside,
them,
it looks
one I
all
liked, like
nice
got
and
more into
shiny
MMA.
and
But it
colourful.
says that like his appearance
But then you
after
get a little
that Tough Enough
closer and
season was
see
he was
it's
on the first
nothing
season of
but a hollow
Stone Cold's
shell.
Broken Skull Challenge, which was like 2 years
like my
after.
opponent
So he
this
just got a bunch of
evening,
people from
Ezekiel
Tough Enough. He's like, I got
Jackson.
my own show. They're chanting USA at him.
Let me see here.
A Brit in Washington.
Yeah, it looks like he hasn't wrestled since COVID. Look, he hasn't wrestled since
That's
COVID.
what I wanted to say too, is that because we were talking about that he removed the label from the water
He can
bottle.
quote the book of Ezekiel.
My
Okay.
my partner is
But
from the
I am
UK,
a very,
and,
very well-read man.
like they don't have the
And I can
drinking
read
laws
you
that we
too,
have,
Zeke.
right? Like you could just drink
See,
publicly,
I
and it
know
doesn't matter.
all about you.
And she told me that like when you see
I know exactly
somebody with a beer
what I've
and it's in
gotta
a
do to
brown
beat you
paper
tonight,
bag
and
in a
believe
movie,
me,
she said like,
everybody
oh, I
in
thought it was
this
just because they
building,
couldn't
every
show the brand.
patriot here
Like I didn't know
tonight
people actually
is
did
gonna
that.
witness me.
'Cause we've had
That
to buy
is
someone
that is
had,
part
like,
of it.
That had like a brown bag can, and she's like, oh, I didn't know that was real.
The following contest is
It is part of it, but it is based on a real phenomenon to any non-American listeners.
Or like you legally
Okay, so-
drink in public, but people do. You just gotta put it in a bag.
Here's the inter.
So here's something that I popped up on Loki's Wikipedia page from the MLW section, which is the most recent. On November 10, Loki defended his championships against Daga, where he won after ripping a portion of Daga's ear off.
Jesus Christ.
I see. I do like MLW sucks, and I also love MLW. Like that's my fucking thing with them.
That he won after. I like to think there was like 20 minutes of match after.
Yeah, so Kamal used
Bleeding everywhere.
his title opportunity against Dolph Ziggler at Survivor Series. And another fun fact about Kaval is that after he fucking won NXT Season 2, all of the losers of that season all fucking jump him in the middle of the ring, and John Laurinaitis did not tell him ahead of time, so he thought it was a fucking shoot.
He's my first life.
Jesus Christ.
Because he purposefully told everybody else but Low-Key so that it would look more realistic.
I bet it did.
Something about this man.
Yeah.
And Husky Harris and Michael McGillicuddy going after him. Okay, so
Who's that fucking director that did that to someone? You know, I don't know. Too much of a tangent. Anyway, what were we saying?
the story people always say with Kubrick is that like, oh, he was trying to
Yeah, Kubrick is probably the one I was thinking of.
fine is like that. I get what you're going for, but like under that interpretation is that like what she's like a shit actress and he has to like do it. Like it kind of discredits her efforts in the movie to say that like
Yeah.
did all this to like ruin. Like maybe she's just a good actress.
On top of that, maybe don't do that to people for a fucking movie. Like, no, it's just don't do it.
Yeah.
You know, like they're actors. They can act. They can act crazy. That's their job.
I saw. I was watching
Decide who you want.
a Mark Hamill YouTube short or something where he was talking about like his character Luke Skywalker, and it's really funny that you can see inkling of George Lucas stuff. Even in like stuff that is said positively about him, is like you can see the cracks a little bit. And what he said, I don't know the exact quote, but he said, yeah, like George wasn't really held up in like characters or like our motivation. He just casted people that like he knew would embody those characters. And you hear that, you're like, okay, so he's a bad director. Like, what do you mean he didn't care about character motivation?
So my thing with George Lucas as a director was that he's very much a visual director, very Kurosawa inspired. I've been listening to a lot of a show called Star Wars Minute, which is if you don't know what it is a podcast that takes 1 minute of every Star Wars movie and they talk about it for 20 minutes. It's been going on for like a decade. But
striking visuals, but like also
Chris
George Lucas
Jericho, and
kind
even
of doesn't like
Booker T.
directing.
You know, Booker T is
yeah, that's like all this stuff like comes up so much when you're doing what they do, which is like looking at it literally minute by minute, where it's like it's very obvious that like you know where his strengths and his flaws are as a director. But
the story I had always heard was that he offered like Ron Howard, Steven Spielberg, David Lynch, the movies he directed. He wanted them to direct them. But like their response was like, no, it's your movie, you should do it. But what I didn't know was that I think it was the Directors Guild or something got upset with him because prior to Star Wars, the movie needed to begin with the writer, director, and actor credits. Like you couldn't begin a movie like that. So he left the Directors Guild. And the reason like David Lynch and Spielberg didn't direct their Star Wars movies is to do that they would have to leave the directors union, and they're like,
Yeah.
George, we don't. I know this is your hill.
Yeah.
Not doing it for this. Yeah.
There's a lot of idiosyncrasies about Star Wars that came about as a direct result of George Lucas's like hills to die on, basically. Yeah.
But now he's gonna be in the new Minions movie. That's exciting. You can tell.
I saw that. That's insane.
Well, they seem like characters you would create. I'm interested.
That is true. That is true.
That So for those of you who know a little bit about wrestling or up on all the most like viral wrestling stories, there was a Monday Night Raw where obviously it's the Super Show, so they're combining the SmackDown and the Monday Night Raw.
I wouldn't say not being in shape.
Where,
I mean, he's in great shape, but I'm gonna tell you when you got all that muscle,
it's a 3-on-3 tag match,
build up in those muscles,
and I see the baby faces come out first, and it's Ezekiel Jackson, Sin Cara, and Daniel Bryan, and I'm like, this is like that one story. And then the heels come out, and it's Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase, and Wade Barrett. And I'm like, shit.
It's that. It is that story.
Is it this match? But the thing is, it's not that match because the heels win. The referee doesn't fuck on them. So I think that they did it again on SmackDown. I think they just did the either they
just ran it back
SmackDown and did it again on Raw because they fucked it up, or they did it on Raw and they're like, all right, well, let's just do this again. Because like the story did take place on SmackDown, but it felt like I entered an alternate universe for a second, like I accidentally moved or something.
We know exactly what he's
because the match was fine, and I was like, this isn't how it's supposed to go.
No breaks. Jackson's so hard to
Something's wrong here.
Wow.
That ref.
The core has fallen apart all over this Intercontinental Championship match. I mean, like, I know that the original intent of the Nexus was that there are no leaders, and that's also the core.
Try to bring Barrett up high for those slams.
I gotta say, Wade Barrett's not a very trustworthy individual. He's gone through 2 stables in the span of like a year.
Look at
Listen, all I'm saying
treated
is
people
that
like shit the entire time through all of them, so can't exactly say he's being inconsistent.
all I'm saying is maybe the core and the Nexus would have lasted a little longer if they maybe read some political theory.
If they got it.
Yeah, or that too.
Well, they were separate in
one of the two.
Blue. There's Blue State Core and the Red State Nexus.
He is in
USA.
I'll tell you right now,
Jackson's from the United States?
Put hook him up again.
I think so.
I think so. I think he's from Georgia or something like that.
Mason Ryan, that's
And you'll
from
be
Wales.
the champ. You walk
Yes.
in here with
Cut a
a big
promo
victory,
on
kid.
I don't think anybody
There's
can
one
survive
bit,
2 ways.
I don't know when it fucking happens, but like there's a specific moment because a lot of this has been revisiting from 15 years ago. And obviously, like I watched a lot of wrestling with my dad. And
This is what Barrett had to steer clear of.
Oh no, actually you're wrong. He is Guyanese American. He was born in Guyana.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That shit in USA. Well, he's got that America in there.
Big Wade Barrett on the spinal cord right
And you know what follows the
They love
body
it. As long as he's not
The
British.
big smile on
Yeah.
Ezekiel Jackson's face.
It's kind of fortuitous that they're just beating up a Brit.
Oh my goodness.
This is revenge for
Look at this guy. He's a
everything,
monster.
really. But yeah, like there's a specific moment where I distinctly remember from 15 years ago. There was like Jerry Lawler makes a gag about Mason Ryan coming from Wales or something, and I remember I didn't get the joke, but my dad did, and I'm still waiting for that fucking Jerry Lawler bit to happen, but it hasn't yet. And we're running out of Mason Ryan time, so I don't know when it happens.
Yeah.
Those are the titles that change hands. This is a new era for the WWE.
I was going to mention this earlier too. There is an interesting crossover here with one of my other interests, which is comic books. That because you had mentioned that like they're constantly doing like this is a new era thing.
Yeah.
Comic books do that all the time too. It's the same. It's the same there too with like the posthumous era defining. Like it doesn't make any sense unless you're looking at it in hindsight. A lot of crossover there. I mean, like we've seen how much crossover there is between comic book, specifically American comic books and wrestling.
I've been the big review that like the Patreon request last year is like a big bracket. It's sort of this like talking about a very specific era of cartoon networks that is sort of goes as like a Chowder and Flapjack and Total Drama analysis retrospective, like a revisit for all those shows. Because that was the era that I grew up in, like 2020, that cartoon era. But like that's the one that specifically like every other thing like you can. Disney, there's like a Renaissance, there's like a Dark Age, all these other things. But like those specific eras are really just brand. And that's like a cynical way of looking at it. But the eras are separated more by like less by what shows are being shown, and more of like they just change up all the bumpers, and the show is presented a little different. Like it's called the new era. It's those little white guys running around that get painted as the characters.
You know what?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I just stand
It's been really interesting because I think I'm too content brained that like whenever there's like a show or something, I'm like, oh, this could be a video eventually, so I will catch it. That I haven't like gone back to rewatch Chowder, and it's been really like maybe eye-opening is too much, but like going back through the timeline and be like, oh shit, I do know what I was doing this week.
That in my
life, sort of framing the entire thing.
Most important
Eventually, I'm gonna run out of
maybe not eye-opening, but noteworthy.
Yeah. Eventually, I'm gonna run out of nostalgia, and I will have just covered my entire childhood, and then I can move forward emotionally and physically.
You finally hit the day that you turned 18, and you're like, I'm free.
Yeah.
I'm free.
Well, that was like I did the video talking about like the Smash Ultimate hype cycle, and then people are like, oh, cover the DLC. And then I did, and the DLC ends in like October 2021. And I'm like, okay, now the timeline's starting to eat itself, because now I'm like starting to make videos in the timeline, and now I'm covering myself making videos.
I'm Beth Phoenix.
Nice to meet you. You're like, this noted journalist covered this event in 2021.
Hey, would you like to see my cobra? Oh, no. Not that kind of cobra. It's a maneuver. A devastating finishing maneuver.
Okay.
Ask Beth, she loves it. Follow along, please.
They're gonna attack
like
Obama.
These. Then like these. Then like these.
I think they should have made Obama a regular part of the show going forward here. I think this is.
He should just be. They should have the Raw GM just be whoever.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guest, CM Punk.
Well, actually, they might have just based on history.
Yeah.
They may have gotten the actual president on the show at that time.
Do you have any final
We're gonna get
comments?
Rock 2028.
Soundbite about how I feel
Oh,
about
God.
Washington, D.C. Is that what you want? You know, little known fact, Washington, D.C. is actually the birthplace of the straight edge movement. But what I think it's known for
Shout out Maryland, though.
is the scum and villainy of politicians.
Oh.
The White House, the Capitol building, the Senate.
I think that, like, weirdly,
all politicians.
Punk does have I'm getting back to it. I don't know where it's coming from.
Swim with sharks. To be here, you have to be one. But the difference between me and the politicians here in
For lack
Washington,
of a better
D.C.,
term, there's a cult of
I tell the
personality
truth.
with CM Punk.
I'm honest.
Where
I am not a liar.
we talked about this
Any
too,
other
like, you know,
WWE
wrestlers, they're on
superstar
social media and there's an
sports
extension of
entertainer
themselves.
that tells you otherwise.
I really
is
like
simply
CM Punk.
lying.
I like CM Punk as a
They're lying
character.
through
One
their
of my favorite
teeth.
wrestling characters.
Rey
But a lot of
Mysterio
CM Punk fans
is lying through
attribute a
his
lot
little
of meaning
mask.
to him as a person.
He's
and
not a
whenever
hero.
he like
He's not
quote
your friend.
sells out or like goes against
He's trying to
those
get rich,
morals,
just like
they
me,
feel
just like everybody
personally
else.
slighted.
The only difference
and I
between him
understand that,
and
right?
me
If there's
is
like a wrestler
I
that makes you feel safe in a
tell
certain
you
community, you
I'm
don't want that to
using
like
you.
turn on that. But people
Everyone
feel
else puts on a
very
facade.
personally
I'm
affected.
the only honest one here.
That he's like
I'm
in the
the only
WWE
real
or
one
he
here.
went to
And
Saudi
after I
Arabia
beat
or whatever.
Rey Mysterio
But
in Washington D.C.,
CM Punk is a character.
I'm going to go
and
on
while
to do
he's
the
like
most
an extension
honest
of himself,
thing
and that's what the pipe
the
bomb
WWE
is. Like,
universe has ever
Phil
seen.
and CM Punk are different people. I don't attribute
They're
a whole
different,
lot of meaning to like the decisions of CM Punk because I don't know CM Punk. CM Punk is a fictional character, a character that I really like, but a fictional character that I like. But some of it
is Phil Brooks straight edge out of kayfabe, or was that just a kayfabe thing?
I just mean that like he, posts a lot of.
I don't know if he still is, but I think when he first started doing the straight edge character, he was.
He definitely still is straight edge. He said there in his book or something. He said he drank for. It was like Harley Race or Terry Funk or someone like toasted everyone at the bar, and he's like, "That's the only time I've drank because like it's fucking this guy. I'm not gonna not do it."
Yeah.
Like out of respect. But I just mean like there's a lot of like there's clips of him in AEW wearing like the trans flag or the pride flag or whatever, and there's a level of argument where like, oh, I can't believe CM Punk sold out his morals to like work for the WWE. And I wasn't. The WWE is more overtly MAGA than it's ever been, and it is actually quite fucked up. But I like CM Punk the character. I do like Phil Brooks the guy also, but I don't really attribute a lot of like the Phil-ism.
Well, no, I was asking.
No, but I believe in a lot of things that CM Punk said.
I was asking because I thought where you were going with that was because like, if CM Punk is straight edge on TV but not in real life, like straight edge punks are notoriously violent to people who are who bring drugs or alcohol into their space. I thought that's where you were going with that.
No, but like, I mean, there is.
I get what you mean on the other side of it though, but
also like the pipe bomb is like the pipe bomb is a huge thing for wrestling, and it must have hit like crack when it happened at the time. I remember where I was when it happened. But also, like, he has a point that he's not being promoted, and he is very literally not on the cups of the programs. But, like, the go-home show for Monday Night Raw prior to the show was a main event between John Cena and CM Punk. And it's not just because of the pipe bomb. They were always going to do Cena versus Punk at Money in the Bank because it's in Chicago. Maybe they wouldn't, given him the belt, given the circumstances. But... like I was kind of surprised by how big of a deal he is on the regular show still, because it's stuff with like the WWE All-Star stuff too, like the fantasy warfare in that game. He's pit against Stone Cold. And the idea is that who has the superior lifestyle because Stone Cold is a famous drunk.
For this matchup tonight.
I do love this fire.
When I look at CM Punk, especially today,
I think part of it too was that because this kind of thing started brewing pretty much around the time when the New Nexus thing started, where he starts to fall away from being actually important, like to the larger main event scene.
Yeah. Well, after
that, by the time it actually gets, by the time we actually get to post WrestleMania, he actually is becoming part of the show again in an important way, probably because they're building up to him being fighting Cena at Money in the Bank. So they just kind of are starting to lean into it now, and I think a lot of the sentiment is from prior to him really rejoining the show.
But I
in earnest.
My stance on a lot of it has changed a lot. Where like,
I don't hear you talking about.
There's this idea, and I don't, I don't want to speak ill of the dead. But the philosophy that I don't agree with is, it's like an old. It's a Scott Hall interview that they always use in TVs or whatever, where they're like, nobody's trying to work their way up to the middle. They're all trying to work their way up to the top. And I used to have the philosophy too, where like everyone I like has to be world champion, or else it was a complete waste. What
defeating
What a
John
dump.
Cena this
But then,
past
like,
Monday
you
night,
see,
of
like,
course,
Dolph
with the help
Ziggler in interviews, and he's like, yeah, it was awesome. I paid for my house. Like, there's this romanticized idea that, like, you should die for your art. You should put your body on the line. Wrestling is all it
so we can look
is.
at it every day and remind
And like, there's a level of, like, betrayal, I guess, when you learn that some people are like, yeah, it's just like a job. It's a job I like. It's a job I'm good at, but it's a job. Where, especially when I was younger,
work on Rey Mysterio,
and you see it a lot too when
this matchup.
with like Becky Lynch not much rather being around her kid than like being on the show. Or a lot of AEW fans that are really confused as to why Kevin Owens like wouldn't cross, why Kevin Owens isn't going to AEW since all like his friends are there. And it's like, well, he's got a good gig and he has a family. Like I can't imagine wrestling.
His best friend is there, and he's like, it's not all one thing.
Yeah, I'm not one to
like it's the person's entire life is here.
Yeah, I'm not one to romanticize the family dynamic, nor do I think I'm ever going to have kids. But, like, it's got to change your perspective. If, like, when you're young, you're like, yeah, I'm going to jump off the scaffolding and drop back first on the concrete stairs. Wrestling is the most important thing to me. I'm ready to eat, sleep, blood, sweat, and tears. And then you have a kid, and you're like, oh, you know what, hold on. That shit doesn't matter as much.
Yeah, I feel like that's how you go from Generico and Steen ladder match to current Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Yeah. Well, so much of like when I was watching Tough Enough too, is like you gotta be. They were like married, and some of them had kids, and like I guess a big proponent of Tough Enough is like we're training you to be on the road and never see your kid again.
Yeah.
And like, you know, when you're a wrestling fan, and maybe when you're a little bit younger, you find that commendable. But as you grow up, it's like that's kind of fucked up. Like, don't you want to be there?
Yeah. It's like it's not an easy job either. Like it's notoriously bad for your health.
Right.
Yeah. And I think they are a little bit different about it now than they are when it comes to Tough Enough.
Here we go.
But
there's probably a much better work-life balance now.
Well, it probably helps too that there's fucking Zoom, all types of other shit to keep up with.
Well, yeah, now people actually
rather than just like
they didn't
being there.
Yeah. Any sort of yoga or anything, they didn't believe in that. Oh, that was
nice.
I understand why you would want to put these two together again. If they have good matches, they have good matches.
Yeah, they're always great together.
There's no real feud.
It's just kind of strange what they're doing with Rey Mysterio, though, because he just had a nothing match with R-Truth in the last pay-per-view as well.
Yeah.
Like, he's not really doing anything right now.
Like, they moved him to Raw, and he's kind of floundering, because he had, like, a sick feud with Cody for Mania. He also had, like, a little thing with Del Rio, fighting over, like, Del Rio called him a fake Mexican or something. And yeah, he doesn't have a lot going on Raw, and he won't for really the rest of the year.
He's in the Money in the Bank ladder match, and then that's really it.
Well, he does get a very important victory, and then never again.
I guess that's true. He does win the title.
Yeah.
So
for an hour, if even that.
Yeah. And then, in 2012 he starts teaming up with Sin Cara, but that's about it. So.
I think that Randy and Michael Cole both got out of it after Randy and Michael Cole never left. They were around for so long that they fade into the background. And then at a certain point, once they get a little older and you start seeing that age, you're like, actually, I do appreciate this guy a lot because he's here consistently.
Yeah.
Whereas someone like Cody or Ray, I'm sure there's, I guess Punk too, they go away and then come back. Well, no, I don't think Cody. I don't think Punk's a good example, but Cody and Ray are. That or even the release of R-Truth and the recent release of The New Day is. You don't really realize how impactful they are until they leave, and then, I guess eventually come back. It's like, oh yeah, this is a big deal. Because when Ray's just on the roster in the 2010s, does he have any worthwhile feud, before the Dominic stuff at all?
No, I don't think. I think because he's in and around the world title picture for a little bit. Around the Great Khali times.
But that was before this.
Yeah, and then come 2010, it's just really like he's just really doing the Cody thing, and then he doesn't really do much after that, and then he gets moved to the tag scene with Sin Cara, and then he does like a couple little things and then goes away, and then he comes back in like 2014, and then he goes away to Lucha Underground after that. Yeah.
Where he's not Daniel Bryan, and he comes at number 30.
You guys are supposed to be the experts out here. And
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Again, the
For those of you who don't know, nobody was hotter.
Yeah, I was about to ask about that.
saw you get involved.
And in the like, you think they're built. Daniel Bryan had won the title and then immediately lost it to the Money in the Bank winner to cash in. And Daniel Bryan was the huge, like Cody of the time. Like he was the huge underdog, and everyone wanted to see him.
Check this
And
out
then
right
everyone's
here.
waiting with
That's
bated
what
breath
CM Punk
during
does
the
very
Royal
well right
Rumble
there is counter.
to see who the
CM
big
Punk,
number
you look
30
at him,
is.
you look at
And
his
Daniel
makeup, he
Bryan
doesn't do a whole
hasn't
lot of moves,
entered
he
the
doesn't go up
Rumble
top
yet.
or do anything
And then
like that.
Yep.
But CM
5,
Punk
4,
is
3, 2,
the
1.
total professional in the middle of that ring.
619, and then it's Rey Mysterio. And people boo Rey Mysterio because he's not Daniel Bryan. And this happens multiple years in a row. They keep doing
Punk
it.
just leaning on Rey Mysterio.
What's really funny about the 2014 Rumble is people didn't want Batista to win so bad that they're chanting for Roman to win. And then the next year, Roman does win, and people are mad because he's not Daniel Bryan, as they should be.
Yes. When he got that, because he got that mask on.
But yeah, like he doesn't. I mean, like comparing this to Punk and Mysterio's first feud, or their previous year's feud, where it's all based around the straight edge society and all the like cult stuff he's doing with,
leadership by
his
example.
daughter.
Have some faith,
Where
Ray.
this, the lead up to this is that CM Punk beat Ray with the help of Mason Ryan, and then he lost to Ray without Mason Ryan. Now the Nexus just isn't out here. That's the feud. They've got to do a match.
This has been
They always have good matches, but there's really no build here.
Is doing everything he can, and now an abdominal stretch to Mysterio, again focusing the attack on the midsection.
That's the thing too, is that like there is a stark difference between a Punk match and like everyone's wrestling match when you're watching this show.
Yes.
Especially in 2011.
Yes, they put a lot more emphasis on the actual wrestling of the match and the story of the match than they do most of the other stuff, where that is completely secondary to everything else that they're doing. Honestly, they kind of do that with Ray as well, but not to the same level.
I feel like the entire time I've been watching wrestling, Ray has been a veteran.
Back of the hand, catching him on
Yeah.
Like I guess when I started watching, I didn't know about his history, so I'm just like he's just the luchador guy. Like he's in the cartoon. But like even this in, I guess I have to think about he won the title in 2002, right? That was the big Ray run.
Oh my nose!
Rey Mysterio created just enough space right there.
No, he won the title in like 05, 06 when Eddie died.
Right.
Made himself some turnbuckle there.
He gets the post Eddie push.
Well, this is 5 years after. And
yeah,
there you go.
he's won the title since then, I believe.
Right, yeah, he had the world title, and then Kane won Money in the Bank and cashed in on the same night.
Yeah.
And then they feuded for a little bit, and then the Nexus helped Kane bury Undertaker alive, I believe.
To go out there to go
Are we really? I do want to get D on one of these. I need to hear the other side of this fucking Undertaker story. I need to know if they were lying to you or not.
It is so refreshing to watch a man like CM Punk in the ring. The way that he manipulates.
Yeah, Michael Cole just said it's
the picks
refreshing
apart,
to see
both physically
CM Punk
and mentally.
in the ring.
That refreshes you.
Yeah. They do give him a lot of promo time too, because they do give him a lot of promo time.
Well, they do.
I think they do acknowledge that he's probably the best talker that they have.
Yeah, he's
so.
really good on the show.
I sure hope he never uses that against us.
Well, that's what I was thinking is that you said earlier.
But again,
like, yeah,
Mysterio
like,
with
the
a weak
straight edge
back,
people
weak
are really
midsection.
violent. It's like, well,
can he turn it around?
He definitely gets in more scuffles than the average wrestler.
For Rey Mysterio, this could be it right here.
No, I didn't mean like specifically as like violent personality. I mean they engage in what essentially amounts to like gang violence. Like it's a complicated thing, but it's not necessarily that.
Right.
But I don't know if I'm the right guy to explain all of that, but yeah, it's got some nuance to it. But yeah,
it's really interesting that it's a hyper-specific Punk sect because it's. I guess in like regular society, drinking and anything, I guess drinking specifically is like very. It's socialized, something that everyone does, but also like It's not that different to not drink either. I feel like it's more common now.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to move away from that, which is a good thing. Because like one of my biggest problems with just kind of the way things have been is that like there isn't a whole lot to do in certain smaller areas that isn't just drink.
Well, it's like whenever you see like teenagers hanging out and people are calling the cops on them, it's like, well, where are they supposed to go? Like, what do you want them to do? Stare at the wall?
You gotta be kidding me, man.
Yeah, like just
There are also those same people that are frustrated when kids are on their phone too.
Right. We're in a weird panopticon where everyone's always calling the cops whenever kids are outside.
I think Ray is not wondering if that was a slow count.
Yeah, there's like, I mean, we were talking about this
started with this
while
right
we were
here,
at the beach.
Check Rey Mysterio out right there. That big flying headbutt off the top rope, it was deadly.
this is this is 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah.
Excuse me. This is a bit.
I was either telling you or Paige that like I used to tell people I don't drink.
Again, not allowing
but that never goes over because like,
Yeah, this was me.
Yeah, okay, it was you. That like and not that like peer pressure applies when you're like an adult, but you know, people will be like, oh, come on, please for me. But if you tell people I don't drink anymore, they're like, whoa, something happened.
And that is true. Here's the thing though, I don't think I agree with that peer pressure doesn't matter when you're an adult. I think it matters in different ways. Like, it's not peer pressure necessarily, but there is social and societal pressures. Now, adults don't generally like let that dictate their life in the way that teenagers do, but like there is pressure.
Yeah, I was telling someone in the chat on stream the other day was telling they met someone in the strip club, and I was like, oh, I should tell my strip club story, and I did, but like I led it with like there's a lot of like seriousness that comes with discomfort. Like the idea that like, oh, I'm in a position I don't want to be, which is like morally ambiguous. Where I'm like, well, no, like nobody made me go there. But like, if I'm hanging out with people and they're like, we should go to this thing, I'm like, whatever, I'll follow you guys. Like, I don't give into peer pressure, but I'll always go to a third location. I'm probably really easy to kidnap. Like wherever the party goes, I'll just follow. Even if it's some shit I don't want to do. We're like, that's the other thing is that I don't like drinking. Or I don't drink. And when I was at like TwitchCon, I was just hanging out with these people I never met before. And I'm like, okay, well, it's either I hang out with them or I just stay in my hotel room. And they're like, oh, let's go on a bar crawl. And I'm like, all right. I mean, I'll be there.
I'll follow.
It's not something I want to do, but I'm not like being forced to go. It's just like I'd rather do that than do nothing.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
CM Punk has done his homework.
He's working
Rey
on that.
Mysterio. He knows Rey Mysterio's every move here tonight.
But yeah, like
look at CM Punk, all of this.
It's the same thing I was saying earlier, like shit or get off the pot, is that like there's this idea specifically with like internet creators online that like somehow real people can motivate you. And because of that, I've been very, with everything really, and I've seen like
educated knees right there by CM Punk.
Specific like neurodivergent terms kind of get co-opted by people. Where like I never want to be a proponent of that, so I'm like hyper afraid of like
very careful.
Value whatsoever.
Did you see that?
But like what I think about it, I probably have like crazy undiagnosed issues. That's what people tell me. So whenever I'm like, yeah, I don't like being drunk because I need to be in control of the situation, and I really detest being inebriated in any capacity. And everyone's like, yeah, no, that's probably this thing.
Yeah.
That we've seen many superstars.
The big
it's the kind of,
see, I don't know about that though, because like
it's all the kind of stuff that you just have to dig a little deeper where you talk to a therapist about it and you're like, okay, well, do you lack control or do you just feel uncomfortable with the lack of control? Because they're different.
I think the OCD aspect comes in where I'm like, what if, my thing is like, what if I drink them and I become a bad person? Like, what if I'm other people that's like secretly evil and I don't know?
Who wants this match?
I think that's where
so I'll say this, that I experienced that feeling too, in spite of having over the course of my life been an Olympic level alcoholic. Like
people have a lot of those issues, and like drinking or like smoking like helps with that because it sort of dulls the senses, but dulls those feelings.
A little bit, yeah. But the problem is that it becomes like a feedback loop where it's like I'm anxious about getting too drunk, so I'm going to drink more to get less anxious. And that I'm not even going to lie, like that's happened to me before. Like, because I'm like you. I also don't like the feeling of being like I obviously you don't want to be like a bad person when you drink. I think the difference is that like between the two of us and how that might work is just that like I just don't think it's ever stopped me before. Right. Like I think that's the key difference. So like if that's kind of where the line of like, okay, this is the normal version of that feeling and this is the OCD version of that feeling. I feel like that's something to pursue.
And they're fucking hot for it too.
Of course.
This guy the belt now.
What CM Punk was talking about.
I don't know why that's like this ending surprised me, because I guess it's so not accustomed to just seeing a heel win a feud, because they don't fight more after. It makes sense.
No.
Parlay this into his next match. But yeah, this match or this feud.
And it does make sense that he wins going into the match against Cena. So.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Ray's got nothing to.
What he's talking about.
Nexus wasn't involved at all. I guess he proved
he just lost
without the Nexus.
The previous pay-per-view.
It's a stopgap. I feel like there's a lot of that going around. I don't know what the original plan for Capital Punishment was, but like, you know,
R-Truth doesn't feel like R-Truth was the plan from the start.
Yeah, well, R-Truth also turns on John Morrison, and then maybe John gets injured, but like I don't think they ever. They don't ever like.
I don't really see how John Morrison would really fit into the story either, though.
We'll just be like after this match, if John Morrison went into a feud with R-Truth because he put him on the show.
Oh, I see.
But I don't think that happens. I don't think John Morrison ever gets his payback.
No, I don't think specifically. No.
Yeah. Our world champion.
Oh boy! I just looked up I just saw the poster for this fucking event.
The caricature, yeah.
Yikes!
Well, I guess they had the poster like months in advance. They kept showing it, so I guess they're like, well, we gotta have Rey Mysterio on the card because he's on the fucking poster. There's I think Payback 2015 or something has like the Wyatts on the poster, and they're just not on the show. The big Christian Randy.
I was. Did nobody look at that drawing of Obama and think this might be offensive?
Not in 2011.
They probably did, and nobody cared.
Right. I forgot. This was. We were living in a post-racial world.
Right. This is Obama. See, this is what I wanted to say. Is like from a production standpoint, like say the matches are far worse, but I like that every match basically has its own hype package. Even though they're all kind of the same hype package.
The editing is always very strange. Except for the Mania packages.
Well, yeah, because they use licensed music for the Mania packages. There's this weird, it's another like Mandela thing, but like I understand, like I think they just made different versions. Where the WWE Cup I have, that like they would give soda out in 2011 is the first ever show I went to, was the Raw Following Survivor Series.
The same people cheered for me in
it has a red shirt John Cena on it because, after WrestleMania, that's when the new season begins. They go by years, but it's also like
real quick, just for my own reference, some of the clips they were showing, that was from like the Brood era, right?
Yeah, well, it's like post.
Okay. Yeah, just after the Brood.
Edge and Christian are just Bill and Ted, basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt.
No worries. But yeah, R-Truth was like walking around and he went up to a kid who had the exact same cup except John Cena's shirt was purple. Because 2010 to WrestleMania 27, it was purple shirt John Cena, who I hate, and now we're in red shirt Cena. It was better.
Are now even more mad.
Yeah, so this is
Your mind never ceases to amaze me, Andrew.
The last one you watched Over Women, right? Yeah. So we're now in the Christian heel territory, where he finally got his first world title win in WWE because Edge had to retire. A very sad moment. And then Christian loses the title belt 6 days later because Randy Orton is given a title match by Teddy Long. And now Christian has turned heel officially, and he wants his title back.
Yeah. And he complains incessantly.
Right.
That's the new gimmick.
That he's always had in WWE.
Yeah.
And when I do become the World Heavyweight Champion, I'm gonna do it for myself.
I like that though. Yeah, fuck Edge. I guess like
the editing on this one pisses me off a little less than the Big Show and Alberto Del Rio one, I will say.
Yeah. Well, like when they're trying to make Christian heel, but like Edge just retired, so people are still behind him. So the fact that we gotta make Christian also completely throw Edge to the side as well. And we like expect.
Yeah, not just that, but also he finally got his moment, which is what people were waiting for as well. So you have to kill that dead too.
Right. Well, the idea is that like I guess you gotta turn him heel because like what other heels does he fight on SmackDown?
Ladies and gentlemen, Randy
But like
Orton,
I never buy babyface Randy Orton. It doesn't fit him at all.
Randy Orton has been medically cleared to compete.
At least not for long periods of time.
Yeah,
like babyface Randy Orton out of the Wyatt family works for a while.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't work beyond that. Like he can make it work in stories.
Like he's friends with Cody or friends with Matt Riddle or whatever. But like I know there's a sickness behind those eyes. If you're the world champion, I mean people are gonna cheer Randy regardless because it's like him and Cena. He's like in the tier right below Cena.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to talk to Randy a little earlier.
Well, I mean, Cena was a tier of its own, but yeah.
Yeah, he's arguably like more beloved by the fans than Cena, just because I think people have more respect for the work that Randy Orton does than they do for John Cena.
Well, so much of
I think I agree with that.
Randy does go between heel and face every now and then. And the hatred of Cena was just like, if you're gonna be this dominant champion, you can't be a politician like waving your hand. Like you gotta be a dick. If you are the champion for long enough, it should corrupt you like the ring, and you should become a heel.
That's what he said, like a fog.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You can't just stay the exact same. It just doesn't work. Like that's the thing is that the stillness.
More about like the booing of the people backstage, like what it represented, what he was as like the figurehead of the company. But they were so unwilling to put the strap on anyone else.
Yeah, well, not and also the fact that they were unwilling to change anything. Like, just keep it the same. Like, literally for 3 years straight, it's John Cena or nobody, and that's it. Like, just yeah. But also you should buy it. You have to buy it.
See, that is my biggest problem with wrestling as a business. Like. It's never the business side of wrestling is always going to be stifling the actual creative side of wrestling, and I mean that's not a profound statement by any meaning, but it is something that I like. I see happening over and over and over again, and it really just hamstrings everything.
By giving Orton the concussion, he also gave Randy.
I think a lot of wrestling just like really any creative venture happens. I mean, we were talking about Twitch earlier, but some of the best stuff is made under specific restrictions. And once you get like free reign to just do whatever you want, it kind of goes off the rails a little bit. I think that the WWE's big problem is like their specific, their incapability to go with the flow. Like the crowd is a character on the show. That's what's so great about wrestling. But they have like plans set in stone. And from like a writer's perspective, I understand that, right? Like you want to plan out the year and be like, oh, this is what I'm gonna do. But you gotta be willing to pivot a little bit, depending on what happens and what the people are behind. Zack Ryder's still not on the show.
Yeah.
So I've you go
Vince is also there. Like Vince is still here where Vince gets an idea and the whole thing changes anyways. And I think that creates a second level of frustration where you're like, well, you're willing to change it, but only because the guy at the very top says he doesn't like this. Like this guy sneezed and all of a sudden, okay, Christian doesn't exist in the show anymore. So we put somebody else there and that's it.
The same thing with like the crowd rejecting the show. I guess that's what the pipe bomb is. It's like it's less about CM Punk being like I should be promoted more, and more of like breaking. And that was the issue when Roman Reigns was a babyface champion. Is there's a level of dissonance between the crowd and the show, and the pipe bomb kind of broke it down. It's like CM Punk is also aware of this to the point of breaking the fourth wall that he's also sort of aware of the show itself. Like I just saw two signs in the crowd that said still a peak. Like they don't want to boo Christian.
Yeah. So I think a good way to frame this too is that, like, there's a thing about being a fan of things that exist under the context of capitalism and big business, that even when you love them and you know that they can't necessarily exist without it, the stuff that creates that dissonance between audience and business, like it just bothers you to no end. Like, I experienced it a lot as a fan of comic books too, as we were talking about earlier, like the crossover there, but it's in wrestling as well. But on the other hand, like, the moments where that dissonance breaks, usually on accident, kind of on accident, as we were talking about with the pipe bomb and the Roman Reigns thing, like, those are some of the best moments in wrestling, though. Like, it's this weird back and forth, and every once in a while, when WWE or any of the other companies, like, try to, like, I feel like as a fan, you can tell when they're trying too hard to do something, and that's when stuff like, the Cena era and the Roman era, like, that's why I think that's why it hits so hard with fans,
and people start to rebel.
Well, specifically in the Roman era, like, they were editing the crowd noise, like, they would pipe in fake crowd noise so you could see people
the Chris in that
it was
moment.
nuts. I remember hating Roman.
If Christian doesn't win this title tonight, man, I'm telling you, it can put him in a bad way. I'm telling you, you think he's bad now. Just wait and see.
I wanted to say that too, when, like, specific wrestlers break into different fandoms. There's this weird thing that happens with Roman now specifically, that he's kind of broken into, like, the power scale. That one's, like, the coolest, biggest guy.
Here's the cover again.
But also, like, they're aware it's a show, but if anything, they buy more into kayfabe than anyone. And you see comments like,
oh yeah, definitely.
I can't believe they're booking, or I can't believe they're giving Cody, like, more title opportunities when Roman, like, is a better wrestler than them. And what they mean is that Roman wins more matches. And that's normally not what people mean when they mean good wrestler. But it's this weird, specifically with that subject, I guess it's more that, like, for whatever reason, and I understand why, it happens with, like, the revisionist history of the Monday Night Wars, that nobody cares more about, like, about talking about money or viewership than wrestling fans, and it's sort of weirdly, like, bled into general entertainment now, where, like film announcement Twitter accounts will rank movies based on, like, if they made their budget or, like, how much money they made, how big of a draw they were. And I think it's a really inefficient way of engaging with any form of art whatsoever.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And I think part of that too is, like, part of that comes from people on the internet who argue about stuff like this, where it's like, that's how it becomes popular because people like to have legitimacy to their arguments on whether or not the shit that they like is valid. When in reality, you can just be like, I like this.
You can just feel it.
It could have made
feel
one
it strong enough that you feel it. It's fine.
This could have made $1, and I would still like it, and it doesn't matter even a little bit, other than for, like, the perspective of maybe, like, continuing an ongoing project, but not for, like, anywhere near some of the stuff that it's become part of.
Right.
Like I say,
and what's interesting on the other side of that is that, like, the term LARP has gotten very popular as of late to mean, like, a fake fan of something or, like, a new gen fan of something. That a lot of fandom spaces are very gatekeepy. Specifically with music, they're like, oh, you guys only know this popular song because of the TikTok audio. I've been a fan of them since the 80s or whatever. We're like,
music has always been like that, though. Like, that's just the
more people like your
fans. We see that.
There's, like, a weird kind of person that thinks that, like, the more niche their interest is, the more, like, thoughtful or, like, smart they are as a person, because they take the time to, like, seek out stuff that not a lot of people have seen. Like, they're like a trailblazer of sorts, and I think that's the wrong way to, like, look at things like that, where it's like, you should look for niche and interesting stuff because it's interesting to you, and you should put the effort in it because it's hard to find. because you're if you're seeking through these niche interests and stuff, like you're seeking something that you're missing in wider media. So I can't get behind the thought process of that, of like getting into like a niche off on the internet or something like that.
It's really funny too that like in the 20s when people are very specific behind one brand, whether it be WWE or AEW, where they'll like say which show is better by comparing the cable TV rating of like who's watching more on cable TV, and that's insane to me in the 20s. Like that.
I mean, it was insane in the Monday Night Wars.
Right. Well, at least then, like
it didn't actually really affect it.
Form of entertainment is like watching TV and watching it live. But like nobody ever factors in social media. They're just like, yeah, more people watch this on TNT on Wednesday night. It's like, who the fuck's watching cable TV? What are you talking about?
Just headbutted Christian. That was totally.
Whoa, look at that! Good. Randy Orton, what a maneuver and a kick out.
Oh, he said what a maneuver. The classic.
Known as whoa,
big spine buster.
Back of the head. You saw Orton grab the head.
I want to know what Obama
Remember the
thinks about this.
concussion
He's
as
gonna come
Orton
back.
manages to power out perhaps.
I'm waiting for the segment to happen.
Right there that can cause a concussion.
That last move that Randy
So this doesn't have the gimmick yet, right? This is just a match between Randy Orton.
This is just a match.
Okay.
Yeah, the next two matches have gimmicks, but this one does not.
Because like that's my thing too, is that like looking at 2011 in a bubble, really good stories. I really like the Randy Orton.
You can be cleared, just like King said. But what's gonna happen?
Sorry, my neighbor came over and talked to me for a second. Did I miss anything?
No, we were just talking about this specific feud. He's seen the lights a little bit.
Gotcha.
Been clubbing blows to his head.
I tell you, the referee needs to pay close attention.
Visions of
to
that match
Randy
he had
Orton
with
in
Brock
this match,
at one
guys.
time.
He needs to be looking in Randy's eyes every second of
That
this
is the.
match.
I think it's because it's around. I got back into wrestling in 2015, but I think 2011 I always had on a pedestal. But then 2016 also, like when it was happening, like everything. I was so into everything at the time. And I think it helps that it's the same argument of fandom in the sense of, when I was watching this, it was in the tail end of when you guys were kind of getting out of it, but still on like the very. So it's kind of like hand-me-down. That this was a community opportunity. That this was a show I could watch each week and then talk to people.
Ooh, crazy flip.
Yeah. And the same happens with like, I got back into wrestling the second time because I kept watching YouTube videos of people who talked about wrestling. And that's why like I don't really watch the product anymore, but I know what's going on.
Almost into orbit.
That shows up in my recommended feed. So much.
Yeah, exactly the same for me.
Yeah, it's a social media and an internet age. I don't know if I've watched a full wrestling show in like years. I mean, other than the fucking 2011 Monday Night Raws I'm
Look
watching.
at it. He's
It's a
wavering
rough go.
right now.
Yeah, I think part of it too is that I get a lot more enjoyment out of indie product too, but
inside his skull.
yeah,
Look at Orton trying to fight out of it.
I don't know. Sorry, I had a thought, but I lost it. But
Clothesline.
oh, I remember what it was. So with you being around, involved in the community at the time that I wasn't during the story, so like, what's the general consensus on like Brock Lesnar as relates to his place in the WWE?
And that's what Randy right now.
He was like a touring attraction, right? It was always like a big deal. I wasn't there for like the first Brock run, but like 2015, 2016, when he wasn't the champion, there was like a lot higher of a threshold. Because what's weird about the SummerSlam match between Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar is that sometimes the world does dictate the show, but in negative ways. Where before a build even began, it was leaked out from like an insider that they were going to do Randy versus Brock at SummerSlam. So because of that, on the show, they're just like, oh, you guys may have heard, we're doing Randy versus Brock, and then the build began after that. Like, it didn't naturally build to a match. Because the idea leaked out, they're like, all right, we'll just announce it ahead of time, which is really strange for a wrestling match that didn't have like a belt on the line.
Especially when you control the narrative, really.
Yeah, control the narrative.
See, even
yeah, but Brock was like in that 2015 he beat the streak, and then he had a little bit of a feud
capitalize off the
with
superplex.
Taker at like Hell in a
make it to the
Cell.
cover.
And people like Taker still, so despite as most, they like Brock. And Brock was on a different level, and he had a really good match with Seth and Cena.
I'll tell you something, guys. You know, a lot of times we as
and then he
athletes,
fucking
really don't
busted
know
Randy Orton open crazy style.
Randy Orton, I'm gonna tell you, he's
it
gonna
was just
feel
like,
this
because
match
Brock,
many years later on after.
Like I do, there is a level of favoritism in wrestling that normally creates a little bit of a power vacuum and resentment. But there is something to be said about like wrestlers that don't need the WWE, so they're allowed to get away with a little bit more. So the idea with Brock is that if you're watching a Brock segment before we knew everything we knew about Brock, it was kind of exciting because like, this guy could just like swear or bust someone open at any moment.
Yeah.
Because like,
well, plus you know he's got the legitimate background. Like he's been around in the UFC for
yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't he brought on as basically like a hooker, you know, like somebody meant to give like legitimacy to the kayfabe.
So I think the 2012 appearance first is. So when he first comes back, 2012.
He left WWE
yeah.
to go to UFC, and then he came back.
And he only makes the one appearance in 2012, and then he comes back again in 2014, and he does the Suplex City Cena match.
Right. Like the idea is that like, you know, the WWE doesn't, Brock doesn't need the WWE as much as Brock. So it's the same thing with like Rey Mysterio or John Cena, that they don't have to follow as strict of a script because, you know, you're not going to tell them what to do. They can just kind of do whatever they want. And obviously people really like Paul Heyman. But that like 2016, 2017 era, there was resentment, less about Brock and more that like, it was clear that the main event was going to be Brock versus Goldberg again. But there was no reason they had to give them the Universal Championship, so they made Kevin Owens drop the belt to Goldberg so that he could fight Brock.
Yeah.
So Brock was like Undertaker. He would show up on occasion. The worst Brock era is when he would show up every 5 months, but he was also the champion.
Yes, that was the roughest time for the fans. Was because
that's a horrible idea.
Never on the show.
2017.
Paul Heyman didn't even show up on all of the shows.
2017 Raw, the Universal Champion was Brock, and it wasn't on the show. So like, while that is annoying, it was kind of fun that like the Intercontinental Championship was the top title for a time. Because that was the year that The Miz was the Intercontinental Champion, and then it got passed around to all the Shield members. Like he won it and lost it to Seth, Roman, and Dean, I think within the year.
Man.
And that was all. 2017 was like a big New Day year also, because the only belts that were on the show were the Intercontinental Championship and the tag titles. So they like rose to that specific level. And that was the last time Miz was anywhere close to like the top. Like he won the title in a Money in the Bank in like 2020, but that didn't last very long.
Yeah, and then he gets squashed by Lashley at the pay-per-view.
He's going for the spear.
Why did they even do that? Just to get the belt off of...
Well, because they wanted to give it to, or I guess he beats Lashley and then loses it to Big E, or the other way around, one of the two.
I think it's
but they didn't want it to be Lashley and Big E.
Yeah, who are both faces, so I guess they didn't want them to fight, so there was just a transitional period. Something like that. But yeah, like Brock, I don't want to see him anymore. It was part of why I stopped watching. With everything we know about the lawsuit, I'm like, it's fucking nuts that they brought him back. And that was the moment where I'm like, I can't even excuse like watching the show.
Yeah, you can't watch it in good conscience knowing. I mean, the thing is, there's like,
I don't think boycotting doesn't. I think boycotting does work. But for me, I've always just been like, it's less that like I'm doing my due diligence by not watching, and more that like as a personal consumer, this guy is on the show, which makes me not want to watch the show. Like I'm not.
Yeah, no, it's not even like a boycott thing. It's like there's a difference between that, like a boycott of something that you would otherwise consume, if not to, boycott, and a difference between that and when an element of the show is so detestable that you're like that it infects the art, like you don't want to view it anymore.
The gimmick that happens here is that Christian just put his leg under the rope, even though the pin was counted, and then he later goes on to complain, like, hey, my foot was under the rope, it should have broken the pin. But if a rope break counts when they're under the rope, why would they ever bother putting their leg on the rope? Does that even count? Does it count as a rope break if your leg is under the rope, or does that just be out of the ring?
I believe so.
Okay. I guess they just put it up on the rope for visual effect, so we can see what's going on.
But again,
I think it's because it's technically easier for the ref to see.
Right.
Like visually, it's more striking.
He was going for that spear though at the end, and it didn't work. Edge just failed again.
Again.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Christian fan, it's just sad. Like you don't. It's not enough to even boo Randy. You're just like, oh man, this sucks actually.
It's a really funny shot of him grabbing the ref's shirt. Very Renaissance-esque in the shot composition somehow.
So much of it is like, well, you gotta play it up for Rosie in the background, so you really gotta go over the top. It's why whenever you see a lot of wrestlers in like movies, it's even like a classically trained theater actor transitioning into TV. But it's a lot more pulled back because the camera's in your face. And that's how you get performances like fucking Ben Platt in Dear Evan Hansen, where clearly he's been conditioned for like being in musicals, so he's like way overplaying his facial expressions the entire movie.
Oh yeah, like venue always shapes performance. Like that's the reason why TV actors and movie actors are, even to this day, when they're merging together, they're still acting differently.
You can read lips or not, but you're right. Paybacks are what Randy said.
It's the same thing that you were saying about niches and shows breaking out to wider audiences. The other thing that happened in between events is that Doctor Who, for the second time in its entire lifespan, has been canceled again after being on Disney Plus.
Oh, has it been canceled officially, or is it just on hiatus?
It's on indefinite hiatus.
Okay.
But like
I thought they were eyeing a 2027 release at some point for something.
Hopefully, but it currently doesn't have like a home. The Disney Plus era is over.
All right, let's go back and look at some of this.
Didn't it just start?
It was like 22 or something. And you would think
Jesus
it would like expose the show to more people, but it really didn't.
I thought Christian had Randy at this point.
All it did was the same thing of quality being gauged from a specific limitation.
Check this out right here.
A lot of the Disney Plus isms of the new seasons I really don't like. That I would much rather, like, people make fun of the old, like, cheap Doctor Who, like, oh, they're clearly just filming in a forest or a quarry. But I'd much rather that opposed to them just filming on a big green screen, because at least that's there.
Yeah, I think the reliance on like volume technology is getting a little bit much.
Yeah.
Kind of how the way that like green screen and blue screen effects were over relied on in like the 90s and 2000s as well. Like it'll swing back around at some point, but like right now it's just a lot.
I would like to see it again because I think Christian's got a beat. I believe the leg was underneath the bottom rope. The cover should have been waved off.
If we're gonna compare all the other Spielberg alien flicks, like you never question if E.T. was actually there.
Well, I want to look at it again. I want to analyze it.
Everyone's so afraid of using puppets these days. Except for, weirdly, the fucking Mandalorian movie.
Is the foot underneath the rope there?
Yeah, I saw that was like, I remember us talking about it, like loading up to that and being like, oh, we're just not excited for this. And almost everything I've seen is I'm like, no, it's really good. It's like if you're not expecting Andor. Like, it's just, as long as you're not expecting some like deep musing on fascism and just want to like watch a fucking monster movie, basically, like it's great.
It's less about the adverse qualities, more that like Star Wars in theaters is normally a spectacle, whether or not people like the movies or not. The fact that this one has kind of just been like, just is a TV movie a little bit, that like kind of seems like a last minute decision. I think it would have been better for them to do the Starfighter movie, which is coming out next year.
See what happened there.
Yeah, I think I'd agree. I think God, what was there was some sort of movie that was supposed to come out this year, and I don't remember what it was.
Like a Star Wars?
Yes, regarding Star Wars.
Oh.
but I don't remember which one it was. But I do know that they may have had to switch to a different movie really quick, and that's just what season 4 of The Mandalorian became. Was the movie?
Yeah, there's a lot of, okay, this is a starkingly pro WCW DVD. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a lot of the annoyance with Brock was him not being there, and of course, like, Kofi Kingston finally wins. Kofi Kingston finally wins the world title after like 20 years or something, maybe like 10 plus years. Oh boy! And then Brock just beats him in 19 seconds.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Who the hell is this? There was a meme for a while. Is that Brad Pitt?
The man, the bitch.
I don't know why. I thought that was fucking Dominic Mysterio for a second.
Yeah, he's got the look. What is this?
Got the Ravishing Rick Rude shirt.
Who's Keith Stone? This is your Divas champion. Oh, also for
I think this is an advertisement for beer, actually.
I'm glad it made its way into the show then. For anyone that's interested in what happened with the Divas over the last month, Karma debuted, beat up everyone, and then Karma broke down crying in the ring. And then the next week, she announced that she was pregnant, and then the Bellas like called her, they humiliated her and like called her fat, or too fat to be pregnant. And I don't think she ever.
The point of the matter is that our truth believes
she ever gets comeuppance for that. What's interesting also is that Karma like comes out and has a really like, okay, never mind. She has a really personal story that like, when I first tried out for the WWE, Jim Ross said I was I didn't look like a wrestler, too fat to compete. And then the Bella Twins come out and they like say that same thing. And then, commentary is like, wow, shame on the Bella Twins. Like, are we gonna forget the part that she also said that Jim Ross said that to her? Like,
Jim Ross said it?
Yeah.
Like, not even Michael Cole, Jim Ross said it.
Yeah, are we supposed to pretend?
Of all people.
It's not like he said it on TV, like he said it during training.
They are the greatest fans in the world.
We're gonna have this promo again. Everything I've heard of it, like I know people like him on commentary, and he hasn't committed nearly as much crimes as Jerry Lawler. But everything I've heard backstage-wise about Jim Ross, he seems like not a good guy.
Fantasy world.
No conspiracy.
In reality.
Honestly, I think the opinion of him would be rather different if he wasn't. First off, he has a lot of iconic lines, but also the fact that he kind of gets paid back for any backstage shit on TV pretty consistently, whereas with everybody else it kind of just gets sent to the back of whatever. And yet every single time somebody's got a slight against Jim Ross, you can bet they're gonna mention that his fucking mom died on TV and some other shit. Like they're gonna mock his Bell's palsy, they're gonna do all this shit.
Do you think that extends to? Do you think that extends to Vince at all?
No.
Or is like the shit? I was gonna say like I see the through line there of like, because everybody always gets to dunk on the boss because he's playing the heel character, but at the same time the shit he did was so vile that like I don't think that counts.
Between like that's you're playing a character as opposed to like the shit you actually do. And that's the thing is that like Jerry Lawler Jim Ross hasn't done anything like heelish on TV. He just was allegedly racist.
He was just a dick.
Yeah. Oh, Jack 1-2. Here it comes. This is
speaking of racist.
Vicky Guerrero is trying to win the.
Is this a mixed tag?
Jack Swagger. I think he might just be fighting Evan Bourne.
Well, I guess it's nice to be.
Well, they did have Kelly with Santino and Beth Phoenix. So it is possible that so it may just be like Beth Phoenix, Kelly, and Santino against Swagger and the Bellas.
Jack Swagger came and apologized just last week. Just for running his mouth.
What I was saying about, or rather what we were getting at earlier.
Big problem with Jack Swagger.
Swagger had a matchup with
right. When I'm a lot younger, I'm like, oh yeah, everyone's got to be the world champion. Everyone's got to get booked. It's not just a job; it's like a lifestyle. But thinking about it in retrospect, the fact that
you were right.
Karma debuted, got that WWE payout, and the WWE paid for her to have a kid, to be pregnant, have a kid, and raise the kid. That's kind of a baller move. I know that she wasn't on TV, but that kind of rules actually. That you go to
I agree.
immediately get pregnant, and then they have to pay for your pregnancy. That's actually awesome. I love that.
Beat Jack Swagger a few weeks ago.
Look, it's Dolph Ziggler.
With Booker T to embarrass Swagger.
Yeah, like this is another thing that I think this just is a rubber match.
To Jack Swagger.
I guess building up into that main.
So legitimately, the Bella Twins came out with the fucking Coors Light guy, whoever.
Are they just gonna throw him out to the crowd or something?
With a whole lot of heart.
There's a Broski sign. Broski 24/7. Gotta love that Jack Swagger and Evan Bourne can get on the card. No Zack Ryder.
They got they can't have 2 title matches back to back. They gotta put something in there, I guess. Yeah, Zack Ryder or Jack Swagger, not seeing the error of his ways, but I think pretty shortly he's like brought under the care of Vicky as well. Interesting thing about Santino is that there was a Monday Night Raw where we saw the return of Vladimir Kozlov, but it was a rare blue Kozlov. He was wearing all blue. The robe was blue, his tights were blue. I've never seen blue Kozlov in my life, and I don't think I'm ever going to see him again, because I don't think we see Kozlov again.
Yeah.
I think like Batista, he showed up blue and then went away.
Then went away.
For capital punishment, watching all over the United
States. I guess they had feud stuff with Kofi as well. I'm looking at my notes. I think we've gone through. This might be all of the matches.
Mexico.
Yeah. There's also one specific Raw that I was having terrible technical difficulties. There was no audio for the first 30 minutes of it. Because it was the live feed. It was supposed to go immediately from Tough Enough.
Oh, that's some of the artistic.
I watched all the Tough Enough. Hopefully the Raws will go back to just being 2 hours. It's a little bit more
manageable.
Yeah, easier to discover.
Yeah.
But yeah, after this is just the main event. This, what we have is, what do I have?
Oh, look at Swagger.
Is that Jack Swagger beat Evan Bourne.
Whoa, spoilers.
No, he was on Raw. And then that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all that happened. They were fighting on Raw. We're getting the full brunt of the... Because, like, how many SmackDown matches are on the show? It's just the Intercontinental and the World title, right?
Oh, he looked like he actually dinged his knee kind of bad right there.
Because Swagger is Raw and everyone is Raw, so it's not that. There's no tag titles on the show. Big Show is technically on SmackDown, but is fighting Del Rio, who's on Raw.
Right. Well, weirdly, like both
and then both Ray and Punk are
the tag titles. I've always liked the idea of the tag champions being on both shows, so it makes sense for Big Show and Kane to be on Raw because they were the tag champions. But they lost them to the Nexus, so they're not that anymore.
I mean, they kind of do that.
Yeah. I mean, if I was smart, I would have Otunga and McGillicuddy defend against. Oh shit, there they are. They're watching the match. She's really uninterested.
Keith, what a life.
She's really enamored by Jack Swagger, I think.
Smooth.
What is the?
Yeah, this is smooth. Doing a push-up on your opponent.
Has Keith Stone appeared anywhere else?
He might just be.
And thanks to you, Cole, I did not even get a call from my son on Father's Day.
Actor.
Or is he literally just like a fucking advertisement for beer?
I'm gonna read. I just looked up Keith Stone. I'm gonna read off his IMDb. Keith Stone is known for Kamen Rider Dragon Knight 2008, Copperhead 2008, and WWE Monday Night Raw 1993. So I guess he showed up on Raw and also Kamen Rider.
Yeah, maybe he's like a stunt guy or something.
Whatever he's Stone beer commercials. Yeah, he's like a commercial guy.
I mean, he's a beer commercial guy.
He's also on the Kamen Rider Wiki.
Air traffic control is grounded.
Yeah, Looper.com.
Mechanical issues.
Guys, Bourne's in
memorable
a whole
beer commercials and football season go together hand in hand. Okay.
Oh, nothing laughing about that either.
So yeah, this is a commercial guy.
Why?
You know, I've seen a lot of commercials in the 2010s. I do not know who this fucking guy is. I guess I wasn't being pitched.
This guy's name is Mitchell Jarvis. It looks like. He's the guy who plays Keith Stone.
Yeah, if my name was Mitchell Jarvis, I might change it too.
They should have had him come out during the Punk match. But yeah, I mean, you said
just get punched.
Evan Bourne may have tweaked some. There was a period of time where, like, I didn't I didn't understand injuries or like I think Evan Bourne got caught with weed or something, but like I remember he just wasn't on the show.
That's later this year.
And I just didn't know why he wasn't on the show.
Yeah, he gets busted for pot later this year, and they drop the tag titles at a house show because he's suspended.
You ever get any of those from your father?
Yeah,
Why
he
do
like
you say to Booker
kind
that
of
was a
doesn't
stupid
show up
statement? It's
ever
like you said to
again.
me. Did you ever get a good
goes
beatdown?
Well, they win the tag titles back, and then he just goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they team Kofi with fucking R-Truth.
Right. See, that they always did like a floating when Big E's injured, who's going to be honorary New Day member. But prior to the New Day, Truth is teaming with both Kofi and Xavier. If anyone was going to do it, it makes sense to be him. Because the only person
he was doing full on comedy stuff at that point though.
Yeah.
Full on comedy, low on the totem pole.
Yeah, but I mean before they turn heel again, like they just have like a gap in the New Day for like a couple years.
Beautiful move.
That's why they're so you know that for any tag team to like have a champion, they gotta break up at some point because they're so averse to just letting teams like help each other. That's why it was so refreshing about the Kofi feud as well. Like, yeah, they don't have to turn on each other for him to be the champions. They could just also be there.
Yeah, and they did it with the Big E title run as well. Just they had a guy who was also the main champion.
Because with the Street Profits, they've been saying Montez Ford is going to be a big star for like 6 years now.
He's gonna have to find it.
And you're just waiting for like something to happen between them. But why can't he just go for gold while also teaming with fucking Dog?
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Slap. Slap. The big ominous flag coming at you, doesn't he? I think we do have a Barack segment after this, luckily, ahead of the World Championship.
Oh, nice.
Oh man! Oh man!
Jeez.
Thank God.
Good night, Swagger. I don't even know how.
You can't like listen. You don't always got to do your finish, but you're not gonna have an Evan Bourne match without.
No, Evan Bourne has hit his finish.
Yeah, that's like his.
There's no way he's not hitting the finish.
Right.
I ever seen in my life, right there. I mean,
I do think there's like a specific roles being filled by specific wrestlers on different shows, and it makes sense to like separate Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio because Sin Cara is still very much the pet project. But yeah, I guess like.
You don't want to have him compared to Rey Mysterio constantly.
Having Mark Henry feud with the big shows. Like, I guess there are a lot of big guys. That's kind of the issue the WWE has right now. When they have too many.
I mean, it's always been their issue, really.
Because
there's the guy in charge that really likes that style of performer.
For a while, they weren't trying to do like, oh, this is the next big monster. They were trying to do Undertaker has to fight a different big guy every year. Oh, I guess he doesn't do the airport. Oh. Okay.
Well, he attempted it, so.
Well, the build to this match is that he beat him via roll-up, and so I guess the feud is ostensibly like, I can beat you, and then he just beats him with a roll-up again.
Evan Bourne has been doing a whole lot of work. I mean, he was all for a while, and that time gave him exactly what he needed to get himself right.
If I were Jack Swagger, I'd avoid Evan Bourne from this point out. I think Evan Bourne.
Yeah, he's gonna keep getting rolled up.
As simple as that.
I think this feud, I think it is over. Evan Bourne didn't prove anything. He just rolled him up again.
Coming up a little short again.
Coming up short.
I think Evan Bourne is in the Money in the Bank ladder match too, so I'm assuming that he beats him to get into that because I don't think Swagger is.
Whether it's verbal, physical, or cyberbullying.
There's no place for
That's
bullying.
the other thing is that like
in the playground.
I was saying earlier that we attribute a lot
Join
of
the
like
Creative
this
Coalition,
person needs to
National
be the world
Education
champion, or else it was all a
Association,
waste.
GLAD, and
But
the
whenever you hear
WWE as we
about,
put an
whenever,
end to
Bryan
bullying.
Danielson does an interview about his time in the WWE. He doesn't seem to hold it in that high regard, and it kind of seems like a lot of the goofy stuff is stuff he pitched. Like he wanted to be a goofy wrestler. Like they're like, oh, what were you feeling at the time of like Mania 30? He's like, oh, I don't really remember that. I mean, he was concussed, but.
Well, the thing is, I think some people are better at it, and probably are more happier just to be mid-carders. Like,
Yeah.
frankly, like I tend to find like mid-carders a little more interesting than.
Clearly not a
Like if you could go out there and do, if you could go out there and be Orange Cassidy every single time, you fucking do that.
Yeah, like I fucking love Orange Cassidy.
Going out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, does the crowd know it's not really Obama?
Away. They announced him as the active president.
so much.
That
Why
can't
are they
be
allowed
legal.
to do this? Yeah.
First, let me say
Well,
this.
parody law allows for a lot of
It's
stuff,
an
but
honor to be here with you all at Capital Punishment tonight. I have so many great WWE memories.
Yeah.
Now, do you know that every Monday night?
Why does he sound like Kermit? Which was
when I tell my
He's
cabinet
losing
that
it a
I'm
little
working
bit.
on our budget, I'm up in the Oval Office watching Monday Night Raw.
See, this is why you can't have the actual president on the show. They're gonna want
And
him.
let me finally lay this to rest right here, right now.
yeah, that's the only reason.
No,
That's the
I
only
am
problem.
not the anonymous Raw general manager.
They
If
should have
I
just
was-
revealed it to be Obama.
We'd be seeing a lot less
That would be
Michael
great.
Cole and a lot more.
No, how crazy is if
There you go. God, I love that.
the guy, if Obama for real runs out of Gorilla with a steel chair right now?
The WWE
Like,
champion,
that would be
John Cena.
nuts.
John McCain. What they're doing.
TNA used to do that shit where they'd have people playing both people that just fight each other in the middle
They
of the
did
ring.
have that Barack and Hillary match that one time where he had the big cartoon
That's
prosthetic
true.
ears. They love doing the Obama ears.
Yeah. Yes.
It's actually kind of funny. Our truth.
I wonder
is
why.
like the Joe Biden of the WWE.
Our truth is the Joe
I
Biden
can
of the
never really understand
WWE. Is
what
that what he
he's
just
saying,
said?
Wow.
He sure
Flip
was a-
that.
He was so weirdly ahead of his time.
Kudos to the man in charge of the Friday Night
Holy
SmackDown, Teddy
shit!
Our truth's kind of like Joe
Teddy's
Biden.
kind of like a combination of George W. Bush.
No fucking way.
That's
He was either
awesome.
doing the wrong thing or nothing at all. Holla, holla, holla. Who's ready
Fuck.
for the main event? I can't hear you. Who's ready for the main event?
Who's he backing for the main event?
I am too. I'm fired up and ready to go. Let's get back to business. God bless you. God bless the WWE Universe. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
That can't
If
be
this, yeah, if this guy doesn't, if nothing happens to him,
No way,
there's no
this guy with a
point.
bottle of water.
This is
Yeah.
the segment I remember
Homie,
that I
homie.
sounded insane whenever I would describe it.
Call the president. You can't call the president homie.
Well, excuse me, I didn't mean homie. I meant Mr. President.
There you go. You might want to take
Mr. President, could you
your headset off,
please
Booker.
join me in this ring?
What's a
Booker might
president
have
to a
had a
king?
concussion. He just invited the president in the ring.
Oh my.
Is he gonna hold the rope for him, or
This cannot turn out
you should
well.
do this in cars?
And he did call the president a
jump into
homie.
the ring.
Yes.
Bring the trampoline out.
No, he slides under the mat.
Pleasure to meet you,
He
Mr.
wipes his feet
President.
on the mat.
I love that Booker T has a much better fitting suit than
to the
does
president
Barack
of
Obama.
He looks like a
You
toddler.
have made history in the United States. You have made history all over.
Again,
this
visibly
world.
not really Obama.
Yeah.
Like,
Being the first.
I don't know what the fuck they think they're getting over with here.
I'm surprised that got
being
any
the
level of
first
pop, to be
president
honest.
Of the United States to receive the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, I mean, this would be a nice moment if
But
this was
can
Obama.
you do
Yeah.
Spinaroonie?
Okay. Now I see why
I'm gonna show you how to
you
do it first, all right?
you were sounding insane trying to describe this.
Well, no, it gets,
Everybody in the Oval Office gonna be
It gets
going
worse.
nuts. Now let me show you how to do it, all right?
it's gonna show him how to do a
Hold this one.
spinaroonie.
Show me how it's done.
With the music.
Well, who'd have thunk you'd have seen Booker T in the ring with the
It is
president.
impressive he can do it in
Trying to
this
teach him to do
Oh yeah.
Spinaroonie. Here he goes. Whoa, there it is. Nice. Pretty good.
That was pretty cool.
Okay.
I gotta give it to you on that.
That was pretty
You
cool.
wanna see him do it? Wait a minute. Do you want to see?
I love that Barack Obama for second term sign has a 4 in it.
Rudy!
4 more years, man. I genuinely thought they were gonna cut this. I didn't think they would have it on the Netflix. I thought they were gonna bury this shit.
You can never bury the Obama Rooney.
Look at this.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Not only did they need an Obama impersonator, they needed one who could do the spinneroonie. Oh, kinda. Oh, hey, all right.
Honestly, that's better than most attempts at a spinneroonie, to be fair.
Not as good as the Gainer.
Give it up for our president,
Come on, man.
Barack Obama.
Oh, bomb.
Well, we are in Washington. So
Booker here highlighting the president's Irish heritage.
Well, there's a lot of spin going on right.
yeah, we saw it, Booker. Yeah, it was great, Book. The Barackarooney.
It's a shame they don't do
Showing
more
off Booker T.
Barackarooney.
Booker should be the Secretary of Entertainment. The
Clearly,
Barackarooney
much
in
better.
slow-mo.
So they had the first black president come out. They had a fake Obama come out to do a little dance for the crowd, do a break dance, and then leave.
Nice.
Nice.
When you can take an organization that's as popular and well respected as the WWE.
It was a different time back then.
The oldest branch of the military in the United States. It's a win-win situation for everybody.
There is
appreciate that coming down here and get to see people we do on a day-to-day basis. It's a good team building event.
Being in a partnership now with our
we're
creates opportunity
wrestling fans
for
will
us
keep holding out like, no,
use
it's
our
not that
resources
bad.
together.
We're
We
probably
both
like a
reach
year out from
we
Trump
both
just
give
showing
back.
up on
It's
WWE.
exciting to see
Like,
what
it's gonna
we do
happen.
together.
Yeah.
But that's like different. Where like I guess
we want
like
to send out a special welcome to the District of Columbia NASCAR soldiers that are in attendance right here this evening.
Like,
yes, sir, WWE is proud
it's
to
more of
support
like a
all
side
men and women in
issue, and
uniform.
I guess like in the era they were
for
so
everything you do
disconnected.
for our country.
And
also,
I mean, a lot of people
ladies and
view
gentlemen,
politics as
men
just
and
like a
women
game.
injured
It's like, oh, I don't need
defending
to worry
our
about that. That's
freedom,
not real.
being treated
But it's like,
in
yeah, whoever the
Washington
president
here
is
in
should show up on the
Washington,
show
they are also our
and
guests
do
here
a
tonight.
gimmick with one of our
proud,
wrestlers.
So honored to have them in attendance as part of.
Did they ever have
Capital
a fake
Punishment.
George Bush
Booker's
on the
gotta be
show?
proud. You oversaw
Probably.
the first ever Barack.
It'd be really funny if someone threw a shoe at the fake George Bush.
Our main event. It
They
is
should have
John
a fight,
Cena, the
but they don't.
WWE champion,
WWE's supposed to
defending
be
against
family.
our
Nope.
truth.
Wait, hold
It is
on.
a battle of complete opposites. But men
Yes, they had a Bill Clinton impersonator.
WWE title.
Right. So do they only
They've
do
had a
Democrats?
Donald Trump impersonator as well.
Oh, this video says prime time with President
the
Bush.
emotion out of the universe like Cena has.
Oh, well, wait a second. Hasn't Trump, like, pre-president been on WWE programming, though?
They had a fake Trump before, and didn't he fight Hillary? Wait, I actually don't remember. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at it. They have a fake George Bush come out to address crime time. Okay, so to be fair, I guess this is a really good George Bush, by the way. I guess to be fair, they do this with all of them. I guess they stopped after Obama. Now he's gonna cut his pipe off.
I've been a victim of a company-wide conspiracy. I'm a priest to God.
The thing that's
They
fucked
had a
up is
fake
that, like,
Donald Trump versus fake fucking hell, Rosie O'Donnell
right
on a Raw in 2007.
They're still feuding, yeah. The thing is, like,
The longest running feud in wrestling history.
they distill this story a lot, but like, I mean, Archer's right. He is a victim of a conspiracy. Like, it was his fucking match.
Zero. For 10 years, I chose you.
Yeah, but like that first like draft promo makes a lot of sense. Like I've been dancing and smiling and I never got anything from it. So fuck you guys. You know, I'm gonna do the T-shirt gimmick and then I'm gonna win a title match. And then it just becomes like, you know, goofy.
It's crazy.
He's the Joe Biden of WWE.
Some would say.
Yeah. He took out. I think John Morrison.
Somebody very high up said that once.
Yeah.
Completely unhinged.
The big man upstairs.
This guy's sick.
Yeah.
This guy's sick. But I was like, at the time, I was really hot on like. He really just does get it. Like you watch the show and like he's meant to do a lot of stupid shit, but consistently he's got really compelling stuff on the show, and he's a good wrestler too.
Yeah.
He never like got to the championship.
He's a great character guy.
Yeah.
Just period.
I guess that is the inverse argument of, you know, the quality of a mid-carder is that, like, you know, sometimes you do just fit your role, and he fits that role better consistently. And I'm glad that like they decided to bring him back and keep him around because he deserves it. But also like it's weird that he never like I don't think he competed for any title. He won the U.S. title in Axis.
I think he won the Intercontinental title as well when they were passing that around. He won it. He won it. Well, he won a bunch of titles early. Yeah, leading into the ladder. I think he beat Wade Barrett or something like that.
But there was a period of time like it was the same. It was 2017, 2018, where like I think
Goldust never won the title.
I'm pretty sure Truth like
or Golden Truth rather.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he like won the U.S. title in Axis.
That's not his championship.
Yeah, again,
yes.
I do want to say also that like
he walked out
we talked about this, like allowing celebrities into the show and having them be a part of it. That's all well and good. I don't think that celebrities should be allowed to carry around replica belts because it makes the real belts look bad. When like fucking Travis Scott has his own custom WWE championship.
Yeah, if you go and have the champion take a picture with them and have them hold the belt, that's way better than them showing up with the fucking plastic one. Or at least give them a legitimate replica one. They sell those.
Well, that's what they do. Like, that's what I don't like is that like celebrities will come out with their own custom belts that are like the same quality, and it makes the actual championship look
this
like look less
not
important.
Whatever this is he's doing right now is so premature. I mean,
40,
come on,
like The Rock had his
wait
own
and see if he
championship.
can win the championship, then parade it around, show it off.
I mean, King Truth is a fry short of the hat.
I know that it means something to him, but like he didn't win that shit. It's weird that he's carrying it around.
From the WWE Universe.
Yeah, it cheapens the product a little bit. Kind of breaks kayfabe a little too.
Especially because all their titles
look like video games. Because he's the victim of a company-wide conspiracy.
He might as well be the president.
I mean, he took part in the compromising of the capturing and compromising of Bin Laden.
Listen, I mean, he's as much as the president as Obama is.
Yeah,
so.
They have equal claim.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have started this match immediately following and just have him. You should salute Obama and then.
Well, they may be minus the championship for the moment, but make no mistake, the champ is here.
So like the R-Truth belt isn't a replica belt. He just stole the WWE championship. It is kind of surreal seeing like contenders that never actually won it holding the belt. Like seeing screenshots of that.
It's extremely dangerous.
It's weird. Whenever you see Cesaro holding the belt too. He's got a very early fight bomb. He's always got his damn couple of
tonight. Let's go back to something.
Yeah, I think those are on my notes. Now I could erase this.
A few weeks ago, before he won that championship, he said
then
he touched the championship.
Not only now is it the summer.
He's already done the smoking bit, right?
Yeah.
That was last month.
Yeah. That hasn't become his gimmick as much as drinking water.
Next time we're on pay-per-view.
Like a water guy now. You know how like in that one WWE Mortal Kombat Apple, that iOS fighting game where Rock's got like electricity powers?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Black Adam before it happened.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought you were just listing corporations. That made no fucking sense to me.
Apple, they're all going away.
The challenger.
Yeah.
No, I actually played it once upon a time, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
They really leaned hard into the iOS stuff. There was something they showed off on one of the Raws that was like, I forget what it's called, but it was WWE Angry Birds, where you would fling the wrestlers at the wrestling ring. And I remember having it.
Yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
I think that's the like start thing about. There are very specific eras of my life or like times. And I started watching this, the January 3rd, 2011 is that first Raw of the year. And I'm pretty sure it was 2011.
So it's about the WWE
where,
Championship. John Cena
but my birthday is when I got my first iPod Touch. So the reason that there are specific years like 2012 and 2013 from an entertainment standpoint that I don't really remember, whether it be video games or wrestling or TV shows, is because I was like so glued to YouTube at the time. That's all I would download YouTube videos to my phone because I didn't only have Wi-Fi at home. Because I had like been on YouTube on the computer prior to this, but as soon as I had it in my fingertips, it was a whole different ball.
It was over. Yeah, it was over.
It's game over.
Right. Because I think about that sometimes, but like, I had early internet access years as a child, but for a decent amount of my childhood, maybe a couple of years, the internet was a location. You got to go to a place to like log on.
He hadn't had a title.
As opposed to kids now that like have the internet at their fingertips at all times.
They say this is first time.
Like to a certain degree.
WWE for 18 years before.
As someone who grew up on the internet, I do have not a chip on my shoulder, but like, I grew up on the internet, and I wouldn't be the person I was today if I didn't. I turned out fine, quote unquote.
The man who he believes is the poster
but the other side of that is that like now that I
I turned out fine, allegedly.
Yeah, I never got a proper diagnosis. I don't know. That
he's being held down.
YouTube videos, you can't control a view. Whoever watches it, that's just a view. I can't really say who does or doesn't watch the video. But from an interaction standpoint, whether it be the Patreon or the streams, specifically the Discord server, there's a strict 18+ rule for the Discord server. I just don't think kids should be on Discord at all.
Yeah.
That I will do my, like, if I know that there's like a kid in the chat or whatever, I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm like, you need to leave. You should not be here. So to a certain degree, like on one hand, like I was watching a lot of YouTube, like I was when I was a kid. But now that it's like, now that the onus is on me, I don't think that it's necessarily the responsibility of a YouTuber to be a role model, but I do think that it becomes your fault when you welcome that. So I take like the Adult Swim philosophy where I'm like, I don't market this to kids and I'll make it for kids. They're gonna watch, there's nothing I can do about that, but I'm not making it for them. Whereas, like,
yeah.
There was a period when, like, Logan Paul was really big on YouTube and was, like, doing a lot. And, like, you see it a lot with streamers, too, where they're, like, doing a lot of, doing a lot of stuff that's really a bad example. And the argument is, like, well, yeah, but, like, this isn't for kids. Yeah, but as soon as you welcome kids into your community, it sort of becomes your responsibility to not...
Especially if you're trying to... You can't double dip where the people that you're going to sell the most merch to are usually children.
Yeah.
You can't double dip and then also be a bad role model when you want to take the money there.
Yeah, I understand the argument of like, yeah, but that shouldn't be my job. Yeah, but my thing is, as soon as you're okay with it, that's sort of a soft compliment. Which is why I do my best to dissuade children from getting anywhere near me online.
Yeah.
In the nicest sense. One, because it's a safety thing, and two, I shouldn't have to see a child's opinion online when I'm talking about anything.
Yeah, that's it.
But I mean, honestly, if you ever look back, you're like, I mean, the shit that I thought when I was 12 is very different from the shit that I would ever think now or even 10 years ago. Like, it's okay to think certain things when you're younger and learn why that's wrong. You don't really need to put that out there every time. And it's very difficult for kids to really understand that because they want to say it in the moment.
Yeah.
But there's also...
Go ahead.
No, WWE sort of idea of like,
here we go for truth.
You need to be
powers out.
nicer to children. You gotta give them some grace. And I understand that, but I also remember like the couple times when I was a kid and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna work up the courage to like comment something, and I was like very wrong as a kid, and then somebody made fun of me for being wrong or stupid. I was like, all right, lesson learned. Where I think like, if you respond to a kid and they're like, dude, don't say that, that's a kid. It's like, well, like I'm not one to, I would never put my hands on a child, but like from an internet argument standpoint, like sometimes you do just gotta learn that through the fire. Like you gotta put your hand on the stove.
Especially because it is so anonymous.
Yeah.
Like
I think there's a huge.
They learn the lesson of like, okay, well, as long as nobody knows it's me, I can say whatever I want to say.
Yeah, I think there's a huge difference between like actual cyberbullying or like threats or gang stalking or whatever versus telling someone to shut the fuck up on the internet. Like it's this ocean of difference. You can tell a kid to shut the fuck up. In fact, you should tell a kid to shut the fuck up.
Well, this is like kind of what I said earlier, where like I thought we were gonna do away with the whole gender thing. I thought we were just gonna evolve past it. That now, like I understand that people in comments and Tumblr ask or whatever will ask my orientation or my pronouns or whatever, and I understand that if you like you want to see yourself in one proper representation on screen. I get that to a certain degree. But I've also never been a fan of like putting every aspect of your person and personality in your bio. Like, oh, I'm this thing.
Yeah.
I'm in this very specific
It is
set.
electric.
Like, people will call
Inside the
unlabeled
Verizon
a
Center in
cop-out,
Washington,
but,
D.C.
You know what?
I can't queer bait you. I'm a
either
real
John
person.
Cena
I'm not a fictional
or-
character.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
Put that out of your mind.
No, most profiles that I have,
It's gotta have some sort of effect on you.
the one that's been my go-to for so long is just Village Idiot, and that's the only thing anybody needs to know about me. It encompasses a wide variety of aspects of my personality.
Well, like, the point is that like, you'll see a lot of kids with like their age in their bio, and I guess the idea
That's nuts. That's fucking nuts.
away, and I'm like, you shouldn't. No details about your life should be in your bio at all.
What?
No, it's not going to keep people. I can't even articulate how fucking stupid that is.
Well, I mentioned
Good
Discord earlier,
God.
too, is that like
Booker,
sometimes
you know
when I
what?
say
I
stuff
do
like
have
this,
to
they're like,
say,
oh, where are
listening to you
kids
tonight,
supposed to be online?
you're a legend.
But like,
in your own mind.
YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram.
Lying about being an adult, like, it's fine. It's just like
I just think
it's gonna happen.
I think it differs depending on the website. Like, I think that if you want to be a kid scrolling YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, it's probably not good for you, but it's fine. But any website that allows not safe for work, like Twitter or Discord, they should not be allowed on. Specifically Discord, but also a lot of Twitter.
This is about winning the title here tonight.
Yeah.
I think our truth has
I don't know about that necessarily. I understand the sentiment though.
Well, I'm
For
not
me,
saying they should, like,
it's looking
go
at.
away forever.
I think
but,
it's
like,
just that
there
there's
are
so little
spaces-
guardrails is the problem.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
That's
it's not
mostly what the issue is.
Like if there was a thing where you have certain features locked if you're under a certain age, like that's fine.
Well, because like the issue with
But
TikTok is you need an account to be on it, but like YouTube, you can just go to the website. Like I have been on YouTube my entire life. I made an account in 2016. I say this. I've told this story before because sometimes I'll get comments from people where they're like, "Dude, I think you're shadow banned or the algorithm's hiding this. I didn't get recommended this video." And I'm like, "Well, did you like subscribe? You'll get notified." And they're like, "Well, no, but the algorithm didn't show me." Like, okay, well, you gotta follow through a little bit. The onus isn't on the website. To the point where like
Did you click the bell?
When I was you gotta ring that bell. I know it's a meme, but you do gotta ring that bell. The people in the Patreon don't need to know this. They're as far as you could possibly get. That when I was a kid, there were a list of channels I wanted to check every day, but I didn't have an account, so I couldn't subscribe. So I physically wrote down all the channels on a piece of loose leaf paper, and then every day I would manually go to these channels and see if they uploaded.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
We had everyone on a favorite page. Yeah.
To the point where, like, recently, I got to the point in, like, the Chowder Flapjack Nudes era retrospective thing, where there was, like, I was going through all the commercials because I found actual rips of the era, and there are some things that are like, oh, everyone of this era has the same story, we sort of had a collective childhood. But there are some things that I hold no reverence for whatsoever because I never touched it. And there was an ad for, like, Toontown. And I could never. I was not that I wasn't allowed, but like I was too afraid to, one, have an email, or two, download anything. So like I had like browser-based games like Webkins or like
RuneScape and stuff like that.
Those like Pokemon MMOs that we still don't know what the fucking one was. Anything like Club Penguin or Toontown, that was just like not my scene.
Here we go.
Because that requires like having a proper account and
power out. Another near fall.
Had nothing that was like that.
This is just an impression.
So I think to return to the kids online thing, I think
I don't know if John Cena has
partly why I'm always like,
I don't think John Cena did.
I don't necessarily know where the line is because for one thing, like protecting kids is such a dog whistle for so much other like unrelated stuff that it's hard to decide who's going to be the arbiter of stuff like that.
It's impossible to say like, oh,
maybe overlooked him a little bit, huh?
Like, even if you want to,
yeah,
like that's just not going to happen. But
yeah,
I think it's just like
unless you're like fucking Amish, like it's not happening.
There are specific websites you can read off, like That's why I'm saying, like, I think TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, they're not good for you, but, you know, they're probably fine.
Oh, look at Cena.
It's like underage drinking, you know? Like, it's bad for you, but, like,
and they're sort of,
you can do it as a kid and learn some lessons, and it'll be fine.
Nobody wants to say, like, oh, we got to make spaces
Cena really
where
get into the
kids
match. He hasn't been
like,
in
not
since
safe
the
for work
beginning.
stuff when you're, like, a teenager.
again,
That's like a really fucked up business model. But I will say that, like, and it's no smoke to you or anyone else, but, you know, I view Snapchat as like a teenager app. Like once you get to a certain level of adult, if you can still contact people other ways, you kind of graduate to other stuff. When I turned 20, I remember there was. I said earlier that I don't bow to peer pressure, but I saw a tweet one time that said like, "Why are you as a 20-year-old man on Snapchat?" And then that stuck with me. And as soon as I turned 20, I deleted the app.
Yeah. No, I literally only speak to 2 people with Snapchat anymore.
Yeah.
One of them is your sister, and that's literally it. But
because he just didn't have an American which was the only way to contact him. But yeah, I do think there are spaces like that. You know, when I was in high school, I had like Instagram.
John Cena's wearing himself out, kicking out.
But I didn't make a Twitter until like senior year. And even like Tumblr doesn't even allow not safe for work stuff now. There's a lot of places that you go. I just draw a hard line at Twitter because those are very like specific platforms.
Yeah, John Cena, vintage Cena.
I think the problem is like there's never going to be a 100% safe space for kids online because it's
like interference anyways.
But the other thing too though is
like a surveillance state where everyone has their ID linked to it, which is like way worse.
Yeah.
I'm
the thing is like while
I'm not saying that we need to implement laws that
was unique. Never seen that out of Truth before.
No. While the internet is still a business venture, it's never going to be safe for kids. So the only way to make it safe is even remotely, because I don't even think this would eliminate every problem because I live in reality, but like until internet is like a public utility, like radio and stuff like that, and NPR is, there's never going to be something that can be both safe for kids and turn a profit. Like it's not going to happen. Either they're getting directly advertised to and preyed upon in that way, or they're, it's too expensive to get rid of the pedophiles, so they're getting preyed on in that way. Like, it's just not it's not necessarily possible under
it's not
this
even that it's too expensive,
condition.
it's lucrative to like keep them around. Like that's probably
like Roblox. Yeah, oh my god, I forgot about Roblox's load-bearing pedophiles. Like
so, they keep the lights on.
I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
He's got a sick fucking finisher too. This guy rules.
Come on, Truth, can Truth do it here?
And his look is awesome. Like look at this. Nobody on the roster looks like
how he had to power out.
No.
And he still gets to be cool the rest of the year, but he's putting a tag team. He gets the main event with The Rock that one time, but he never really gets to this point. I was one of the few people excited for that heel John Cena R-Truth match in like 2025 during heel era. It didn't really end up going anywhere.
Tell you right now,
the destruction he's wrought.
Oh, short by Cena. No, Cena rolls through. Look at the power. Look at the power of Cena.
Oh, man.
I don't know. The power of Cena thing doesn't really imply that it's a smaller guy.
And this could be Truth's time. Truth into the cover.
Well, hold on. How tall is R-Truth?
The same height as Cena. Oh, so that move isn't called the Little Jimmy.
John Cena had to get away from the
but he's been on the roster for like a good couple of years now, like maybe like 2 or 3.
Here's the thing.
They call it the pay dirt, which is what they used to call it for Shelton Benjamin. But I don't
here's the thing.
Have like a full-on name yet.
R-Truth is 6'2" and 230 pounds. Like, he's not small. So like, I gotta get what they're saying.
Cena normally applies to like when he's lifting Big Show or something, like a feat of strength.
Fair.
See, there's that purple shirt John Cena cut. Yeah, that's what I look like all the time.
Oh yeah, backwards hat.
He's just stoked that he's drinking his drink.
Yeah.
Water gimmick.
That's pretty good.
Straight into the finish.
That kid was a plant, right? Like that was a pre-planned bit. Okay.
Paper on the seats. I wonder if it said like
Probably.
I mean,
that would be cool if it wasn't.
Side at all. So
they could get away with making the front row all plant. That would be too expensive. That's what they did in the pandemic era. You guys should just sit there and cheer.
I'm sure there's some shows, maybe not at WWE, but there has been some shows where they're getting more involved with the crowd, where you just have to keep like people who are in the loop up front, you know.
What would that be? You should salute him. I'm gonna borrow this.
I'll bring it back later.
We're gonna hit the town.
I'm gonna tell you something, guys. This kid right now.
Keep some vignette.
And he'll remember this day right here. He'll never forget this.
You are the champion. Honestly, at this point, bring Obama out here and have him raise his hand.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Give him to the whole thing.
I don't think I'm ever going to recover from the Obama Renee. I got to tell you.
I'm glad we watched this. I'm glad they have it on Netflix.
Yeah.
Now we've all seen. I'm never going to stop thinking about the fact that he called R-Truth WWE's Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
Yeah. Oh my God. There was so much with that. Just.
See, like, it's weirdly during these shows, because they're kind of bad, we're not often talking about the matches, because that's not where a lot of the
I never once in my life have I thought this was a show about wrestling. It comes up every once in a while.
Up in the air and down again.
It comes up every once in a while because we're interested in stuff surrounding it. I don't think, we're not talking about this.
Cena image,
Yeah.
There's the C Nation right there. Well, we're kicking down. This has been another installment. We're watching the pay-per-views on the Patreon. Next month, Money in the Bank 2011. I have been BHultra.
The Big Show.
I've been John.
I'm Caden.
And do not ever try this at home.